All the people at home are wondering one thing right now.
Yeah.
Do you know about the Heavies? Today, we are joined by an absolute legend. A woman whose resilience makes David Goggins look weaker than the Liver King's sperm count. She's the ultimate survivor, a New York Times best-selling author, and she's taken out more rats than the Colombo crime family. She's got the only North Korean nukes to touch American soil. Right now, give her a warm, flagrant welcome, the unstoppable Yeonmi Park, everybody. Okay, now, before we begin, because obviously we want to talk about your life and everything that's going on, your books, but before we begin, all the people at home are wondering one thing right now.
Yep.
Do you know about the Heavies?
I can assume, but what part is exactly? Is it, my butt?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's the other part. Yeah, the other part. What
I've never seen you blush before.
No, okay,
Do you still think so in person?
Yes. I mean, is that the right answer? I've never been embarrassed on a podcast. Okay, so basically the story.
Come on, you gotta tell the story, dude.
I called you. I'm like hot right now. Okay, I called you. I called you like 2 or 3 days ago because I wanted you to be in on the joke, and I just had to make sure.
Yeah.
So I
He's
called
looking at you in the eyes so hard right now.
Yeah.
He's not letting his eyes wander at all.
At all. It's gonna be right here the entire time. Laser focused.
Yeah.
Laser focused.
Al's got his sunglasses on today.
Yeah, I'm protected. Okay, so basically what happened, it's just here or here. I look.
Yeah,
Okay,
yep.
so basically I called you and I was like, hey, I just want you to know, are you familiar with like the comments on Instagram sometimes saying the Heavies
Yeah.
or people lifting the weights?
Yep. Yeah.
And you said to me, you were like, I thought people were saying I was getting fat.
Yeah.
Which, which made me feel worse.
I was like, am I getting too big for these people?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, in places, look, so I felt horrible that, you came from this place, you're coming from North Korea,
Yeah.
where you don't have food easily accessible to you, and then you get to America where you can eat whatever you want, and you're immediately body shamed into not eating. So I feel bad about that part of it. But
Only
it's-
that part.
Only that part, but I'm glad that you're in on the joke now.
Perfect.
Yes. Okay, good.
So what does exactly weightlifting relate
Oh boy,
to
so
that?
What does it mean, Andrew?
Yeah.
Do you want to demonstrate, maybe?
now, you know what? Okay.
I get the word, but like, what's the lifting part? I don't lift, that's why.
Well, the weights, okay. So
I'm embarrassed next to you.
Hold on. So basically, our word for, how do you say boobs in Korean?
Bad or good one? Like the more polite one?
Yes,
Oh, 가슴?
kasam. Now, how do you say the less polite one?
No, thank you.
Okay, good. Okay. So the most polite way to say it in English is obviously the Heavies, right?
That's the polite way to say
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
That's his way of
Yeah.
saying it.
His polite.
Only
Because
he
you're not
said that.
saying it, you're just saying it's the head. It's like the soup heavily. The
Oh,
Heavies,
okay.
Yeah. So, and then when we said the Heavies, people put the weights because
Yeah.
weights are heavy.
Oh, okay. That's
It's
the
intricate.
Kind of,
Yeah. But now you know everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, do you still want to be here?
Yeah. I think actually with my story, this is the first time people made fun of me in person.
Welcome to America, baby. She said, "I love freedom." Now, I would like to kind of go over some of your life story for the people that aren't familiar with you.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so you grew up in Calabasas, right?
Next to the Kardashians.
Yeah, next to the
Yeah.
Kardashians.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That I did not know. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so much to learn today.
No. So you're born in North Korea,
Yeah.
okay?
Yes.
That's kind of wild. What was the city that you were born in?
Haesan.
Haesan,
It's a northern part of North Korea.
northern part of North Korea.
Are you going there on the next tour?
No, I don't think that they don't do comedy shows there, do you? Do they?
So I think that's the thing. Like in North Korea, I knew about comedy, but in comedy they have to glorify the dictators, like the leaders, in their comedy.
You can do that.
Yeah.
So I was like so shocked. In America, people can make fun of everything,
Yeah.
or themselves, or anything.
Yeah.
So
Some people's entire act is making fun of leaders.
Yeah.
That's all they do is make fun of.
Well, there's a dinner that they have every year where you make fun of the president.
and the president is there.
And the president has to be there and then get made fun of in front of everybody in the
They don't
world.
get executed.
No execution. Crazy, right?
question, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some people say the reason Donald Trump ran for president is because he was made fun of at that dinner before he was president. And everybody was laughing at him, and he just said, all right, fuck it. I'm going to show you how easy this is.
So is this a conspiracy theory or real?
What is real? Do you know what I mean? What is real anymore? Okay, so you grow up there, okay? And your life is incredibly difficult growing up there. I mean, even accessing food is incredibly hard, right? You had to eat
Grasshoppers.
grasshoppers,
Dragonflies.
butterflies,
Dragonflies.
dragonflies.
Butterfly sounds kind of
Yeah,
nice.
butterflies
Yeah,
is
it
okay.
actually sounds beautiful when you say it like that.
What's your favorite insect? Like if you had to rank them.
Grasshoppers.
Grasshoppers, right? Yeah.
They are very chunky meat. I mean,
Yes.
dragonflies is not much to eat.
Not much there,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Harder to catch too.
You know, we use a spider web. So we make a little bit round the wire and we go through a lot of spider webs. So we mix a lot of nets and then we catch them. Like it's easy.
With spider web?
Yeah.
Wow.
So August is the dragonfly season, so we catch
So everybody's
everywhere.
eating good in August.
So you're like
Yeah,
bears.
yeah.
You eat in August and then you just starve for the next months of the year.
For sure. It's funny enough, that's why we call spring is a season of death.
Wait, really?
Because in spring, a lot of plants don't grow. It's not quite the time, you know, like this right now, February,
Yeah.
March is the hardest.
Yes.
From April, at least there's a hope. We can find some bud or like food to find.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you also told that story on Rogan about eating the rats.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you saw even kids eating rats.
yeah,
And then the rats eating the kids.
Once
also.
they died, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, unbelievable. This is a common occurrence to eat the rats, or this is like, was there a month?
What's unbelievable is like this to me right now.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like in North Korea, like I couldn't fathom how can you not worrying about finding food. You
Yeah.
know, that was just daily life for us.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I had no clue world like this existed.
Yes,
And their problem was just having too much food.
yes.
Yeah.
That is the
Yeah,
problem.
that's his problem. That's
Yeah.
he has a big problem with that.
Yeah, I have certain things I just don't want to eat because I don't want to get so fat.
That's what Americans were teaching me when I came to America. They said you need to watch out the food label. And don't eat rice. I was like,
Did they
that's
tell you
what
that right away? Because right away you probably needed the food there. It's
In
kind of
South
an asshole
Korea.
thing to do. You've been starving your whole life, and they're like, "Well, don't eat too much."
Yeah, well, she go. Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
South Korea, they did feed us.
Oh,
So
okay,
we
okay.
had a nutritionist
Yeah.
within government. So they would like feed us.
Yeah.
Initially, we cannot digest normal food like normal people.
Wow.
I mean, like the Holocaust survivors, you cannot give them steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their stomach cannot process all that fat
Right.
and salt like that. So you need to start with like little bit of like a water and some salt, and then increase the the
Yeah.
fat in the food.
Yeah, I was listening to that podcast. You said that your first meal when you were in South Korea was eggs. That was the
Yeah.
wildest thing that you could dream up
Yeah,
of.
boiled eggs.
Yeah, but I do need to know because I grew up in New York City, and there are tons of rats in New York City.
Yep.
Now, you also moved here. You went to school here.
Yep.
Were there ever times where you saw rats and you were like, run it back one time? Did you think about that at all? Just because it's old habit, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
So I got intimidated by American rats because they were so much bigger than North Korean rats. So even the
Because they get more food.
Yeah. Even the rats are fat here. Even the rats are obese.
like size of like rabbit.
Yeah.
My mom
You
and
can
I
feed a
was
family.
Yeah, we're like my mom and I was like in the subway. We're like, is that a rat? It's like it's a bunny almost.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah.
The different size rats. North
For
Korean
sure.
rats like maximum is like this big.
Oh, wow.
Very small. They're
like
also-
mice.
Very small.
They cannot grow because we catch them before they become big too.
Yeah. Is there a way to prepare it? Like, is there like a dish? Like, I mean this honestly. Like, is there a
Yeah.
way that you? What is the best rat dish?
So rat dish is depends. Like if the people have a lot of TB, tuberculosis, right?
Right.
I mean, I had and my sister, everybody in North
Everybody
Korea,
gets TB.
from malnutrition.
Right.
So in that case, we need to boil it. So we skin it and then get the intestines out.
No.
And then we boil it and then until the bones become.
What's wrong?
I'm just imagining cooking those rats is crazy.
Okay, keep going. Yeah. Wait, what are you doing?
It's a delicacy, no?
It's a delicacy, Al.
Are there any things you miss? Like, do you miss the grasshoppers, or like, would you consume any of that stuff now?
Oh, hell no.
You didn't have to eat it anymore, but we're just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe you miss it. Like, you know?
No, nothing about that food I miss.
Okay.
I think now in America they keep saying how we need to eat insects to save the planet. Like, no way. I'm joking me, you know?
No.
It's like I would not want to go back.
Yeah.
So
There is a restaurant, I'm pretty sure, in Midtown that does like insects.
There's
like,
protein bars with crickets in them.
It's like a
Cricket
Peruvian
protein bars.
restaurant where like they'll do like ant rice, and so it's rice with ants in it.
Yeah.
oh my
But there's a
God.
lot of places in the world that will eat like grasshoppers or chocolate-covered crickets or something like
Yeah,
that.
chocolate covered.
Yeah,
That's the point.
That's what you guys needed. Yo, you're right. Chocolate's doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah. Why did you guys do chocolate? You should have just gotten some chocolate and shipped it
If
in.
you want to send aid to North
Fondue,
Korea,
dude.
just ship them some Cadberries.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all you need. Yeah. Okay. So the rats, that was pretty much it. Sometimes you do it. You said sometimes you do it
Snakes.
boiled. Snakes, but snakes is common. There are people that eat snakes. But the rats is just the most wild thing.
Yeah, I think-
wow. Yeah. I think to us, because we're so used to like trying to get rid of them. You know, also like Western people have this huge fear of rats because it killed like a third of the human population.
Okay.
Have you heard of like the Black Plague or the bubonic
of
plague?
course, in Europe, yeah.
So there's probably like this little concern.
I think till this day that shocks me is like what I remember eating cockroach.
Yes.
I think that I'm sure like nobody wants to like date me right now.
But you're engaged though. You already.
But cockroach we eat as a snack. And it's like with my friends, like they're boys, they are faster, cockroaches are faster, so they catch it.
Yeah.
And then they show me how to eat it. If you flip their tummy, there's inside, like it looks like a little grain in it. Looks like a brown rice grain. So that's the most like delicious part in cockroach.
Oh,
Really?
you got to do a
Yeah.
cooking show. This would be an awesome. Yeah, you could be on the Food Network. This would be cool.
That I'm not proud of.
Because this guy, he one time we were eating and there was a fly in his soup, like one small little mosquito, and he wanted the whole meal to be free.
That's not true.
No, he wanted the whole
That's
thing to
not
be
true.
free because he
I
said,
eat it. I eat
you
that
don't
kind of
eat
stuff.
it. You don't
I don't
eat it.
care. I don't care.
If you found one little fly in your food, would you be like, oh, that's gross, and throw it away?
Leave it in.
Totally. I mean, it's good
Yeah.
for your immune system. That's how I survived. Like,
You would just,
I have zero allergy.
you would just keep
When people
going.
ask, like, do you have allergy? Like, no.
What's an allergy?
What's an allergy? Exactly. You don't have a word for allergy, no.
Right.
Yeah, because we eat everything.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay.
So you never complain when you go to restaurants?
No.
Never.
If the quantity is not big enough, I complain.
If it's not big
No,
enough?
no, quantity is.
Oh, you want the American portions.
Yeah,
If you're
like
paying
the
80 bucks.
Texas, but
Yeah.
Texas style is a
If you're
big-
paying 80 bucks for a
Texas
dish,
style.
you don't want one little bite, you know?
No, I hate that.
That's a North Korean restaurant where they just give you one little bite of something. I don't want
We
that.
don't have restaurant. We don't have free market.
But if you open one here, though, it could be good.
Yeah.
Now, what do you say when like okay, let's continue on your story. So 13 years old, you find a way to basically escape to China, right?
yeah.
And you and your mother go.
Yeah.
Okay. You escape to China. How? By crossing a frozen river?
Yeah.
And it was so cold that the guards are down? Like what is this situation? How do people stop the illegal immigration?
So there are like every 10 meters guards with machine guns. And now after Kim Jong-un came, he buried the landmines and then put the electrified wire fences. And then facial recognition cameras from China put on the border. So now escaping from North Korea became impossible.
But you were before this, right?
I was right before that. It was still though like with the machine guns and guards every 10 meters.
And they just didn't see you because it was dark?
No, the lady was helping me, she was a broker. So she bribed the guard. That's why I didn't get shot.
Okay, so she bribes the guards, and then you and your mother get across, and then immediately after getting across, your mother is sold. You told this story on Rogan.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I need to ask something. You were telling the story, and you said in the story, I need to know if you were just using this as like vernacular, like we use it, or this is true. You said that your mother was sold to mentally retarded farmers.
As a sex slave.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, your mother was sold to mentally retarded farmers, right? Now, were you saying that in terms of like we say, oh, they're mentally retarded, like people that are stupid, or they were actually, they were mentally ill people, like that.
Yeah.
They were
Actually can't function. They cannot put their pants on. Like, you know, they like limp, like actually physically sick, and in their head also sick people.
And they worked as farmers, or they owned a farm or something like that?
So they, my mom was sold several times. So one time she was sold to this family, and of course the son couldn't function. He was very disabled, but the parents they had a farm. It was like I think China privatized after Deng Xiaoping came.
Right.
So they had their own farm.
Holy shit.
Family work.
So she's immediately sold there. You also sold.
So immediately she was raped.
Oh my God.
And then they brought us together and then negotiating our price. And then they realized my mom was older, so they sold for like $65 for her.
Yeah.
And then I was a child virgin. I was 13 and virgin. So they decided to sell me over $20.
Oh my
so
God.
sold me separately to a different broker.
Oh my God. And this is all part of the person that was transporting you. She knew when she was transporting you that this would immediately happen on the other side.
Yeah.
So this is the cost of getting out.
But the craziest thing is that I'm not hating her, is because she sold her children the same way.
Oh my God.
If I was not get sold into China, you would not see me because I've been dead.
100%.
In 2007, yeah.
Wow.
You would not see me today.
So
Oh my God.
the only way you could survive is being sold as a sex slave.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she got executed for that after a few years later.
Somebody told her, or?
The authority caught her, and then they executed her.
Was she,
And when they execute her, they also arrest 8 generations of her family?
3 generations to up to 8 generations.
Between 3 and 8?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now, I know that your father was arrested earlier. And when he was arrested, did other people also get arrested with him?
So there is 2 types of crime in North Korea called political crime and economic crime. So political crime is where what you do, you make fun of the president.
Yeah.
That kills 8 generations
That's
of
a
your
bigger
life.
deal.
8
Yeah.
generations.
It's like literally one guy, the top official, escaped. More than 30,000 people got
Saw you say that.
sent to prison camp. They did not even know they were related to that guy because they're so far out from in-laws of the in-laws and in-laws, right?
One guy.
Yeah.
And it was for being critical of the president, or
Criticized.
the
He
supreme
escaped
leader?
to South Korea and then criticized the regime.
So he criticized the regime over there, and then they just scooped up his entire family, 35,000 people that were related to him, and that's how they sent the message. Now, those people, they go to, you said there are 3 different types of prisons
camps,
there.
yeah.
There's the concentration camp,
And then labor camp.
labor camp, and then one,
Re-education camp.
the re-education camp.
Re-education camp is a bit less than 2 years sentence.
Gotcha.
Prison camp is where my father sent over 10-year sentence. Political prison camp is a lifetime sentence. But when you go to political prison camp, you don't last more than 3 months. It's like Nazi Germany is, gas chamber. They work you to death. They ask you to clean the debris of nuclear weapon, those testing sites. That's why
So
they
you
need.
get all the cancer, you get,
Of course.
Oh,
and they need all these people to keep testing nuclear weapons and then clean those debris afterwards.
oh my God.
So you've been so outspoken. Did they go after your family?
that's what I was going to ask.
They did. They first put me on their killing list.
Yeah.
And I was informed by South Korean intelligence. And then they put all my families from mom, both sides, and denounced me as the puppet of Western propaganda.
Yes.
And then they all disappeared, which means concentration
Oh
camp.
my God. Wow. Now, when you're in China, you have this unbelievable journey to get to Mongolia, and then from Mongolia to South Korea. You have to cross the Gobi Desert.
Yeah.
This is a 24-hour, when I was listening to the podcast, you said it was a 24-hour straight journey. It's -40 degrees. what are you wearing? How are you staying warm? Like, how do you prepare for this? Are you taking water? I'm trying to understand.
I mean, it's gonna freeze. Water gonna freeze.
yeah, so-
Even your entire thing is all like ice. If you breathe, it becomes like all like icicle. So, that's the thing. I was rescued by missionaries.
Yes.
And they said, you have to believe in miracles, otherwise you're not gonna make this journey. The chance of surviving is 1%. So, but we don't have like gloves or gears or like paddings, you know, just some like thick jacket, and then no gloves, no scarves, no hat. And so afterwards we got everything frozen, or our face took a while for us to heat our skin. Wow. Yeah.
The missionaries that you said would make you, like they would test you on the Bible. And if you didn't do well, they might not take you. Did they do that just so you would believe in miracles more strongly? Was that the idea? Do you know why? Because it seemed to me, I was like, yo, just rescue these people. Who cares how well they know the Bible?
Right. So that's the thing. They believe that North Korean people cannot learn about Bible because the Kims copied the Bible and brainwashed us in the same theology. And like if people hear about God and Jesus Christ, we're gonna not like know the same thing they're telling us. So in North Korea, if you read the Bible, you get executed.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like this is the biggest crime you can make in North Korea. So these Christians thought like they need to save North Koreans and let them know the gospel. So they rescued us, and the price was us becoming Christians.
Yeah.
And that's why we had to write down those psalms and memorize and testing and praying and fasting and a month of training.
Yeah,
Then,
God would have just saved them, but that's fair.
Wait a minute. Did they? Are you still Christian?
yeah,
Really?
I became one after my son. I wasn't. I was an atheist for a long time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then having my son, like, wow, this is a miracle.
Yeah.
I had to become one.
Okay. So then you eventually get to South Korea. From South Korea, you come over here. You study at Columbia, and now you've just gotten your citizenship. Bravo.
Thank you.
American citizen. Okay, so we've got some life. We have tons of obviously questions. We're so curious, and I also want to talk about your new book and your old book, and we'll make sure that we plug everything there. Okay, so many different things that I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
A million. I never write down like notes for a
Really?
podcast. These are the notes that I have. I need to know. Okay, are there any nice parts of North Korea? Is there like an Aspen?
There are more than 2,000 private resorts for the Kim Jong-un.
Yes.
In these private resorts, they are all pleasure squad members waiting for him to come visit.
Pleasure squad
So
members.
these young girls in North Korea, the officials have to find the young girls who look pretty. And then when they turn 16 or 17, they send them to capital Pyongyang and train them to become, there are 3 groups in pleasure squad. The satisfactory group is where you perform in sex acts. And the other group is a happiness group, is where you learn how to massage the dictator or like give him the acupuncture like that. And the last group is the dancers and musicians.
And magician.
Music.
Musicians.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I thought he liked magic.
He does like magic,
He does?
but like he likes the girls like naked and dancing more than that.
Yeah. Most
he-
guys
Yeah.
like the naked girls more.
prefer magic.
Yeah.
I weirdly prefer David Blaine.
You like magic over. Okay.
Let's be friends after.
Yeah, right? Magic is so much more fun.
Wow. Okay. Now. Okay. So the videos. Sometimes there are these videos you see coming out of North Korea. And they make North Korea look quite normal. It doesn't look rich.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look as poverty-stricken as people like you and others who have gone to actually lived in North Korea say. What do you say about these videos? Are they all like he'll bring up? Is it all faked? Is it all orchestrated to like trick the West? Do you even recognize this place?
It's Pyongyang. It's the capital of North Korea. Yeah, do you see that everything is a propaganda banner?
Right.
There's no ad.
All of these. Oh, there's no advertisement.
Nobody can like get a glory other than dictator.
What does that say, that
Doesn't
first
look
time?
that bad.
It's like let's follow the party's order. with everything that we have.
So are these places like propped up by the regime to look nice, or are there some parts that are nicer and some parts that are more impoverished?
So Pyongyang is like have you guys watched the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
So it's like North Korea, like that. There's a capital and there's other districts.
So the capital looks nice.
Yeah, because that's called the heart of North Korea, heart of the regime is Pyongyang. So that's why regime says as long as we can keep 10% alive, which is in Pyongyang, we are not going to do anything until other people die off from this starvation, because it's easy to do socialism when you have less people. That's why they're starving us on purpose, to let us die.
Because it's less people to take care of.
Not taking it is control. They don't take care of us. It's easy to control less population, right? And also, if we are starving, we have no energy to fight back.
Right. And they would be worried about these other places coming and obviously trying to create some sort of revolution.
Yeah, so within North Korea, we have no freedom to travel to Pyongyang.
Oh, I was going to ask you, have you ever been to Pyongyang?
I've been before my father arrested. I've been once.
Because before your father's arrested, life was not as
He was a party member. Yeah, I had a relatively fine life for North Korean standard.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which means I had like food 3 times a day, still no electricity, no cars, no toys, still like 2 pair of clothes, no shower, no sewage, no bathroom. I mean,
Oh, and that was good for...
no refrigerator, no washer. I mean,
Wow.
that was a good North Korean
was-
lifestyle.
yeah.
I was not dying from starvation.
Yeah, because he was a party member.
He was, 6 million of men are party members, so it's not that significant.
Got you.
He was a party member, but still, yeah, better than most of, I guess, middle class people.
Wow. Okay, so that's why they'll let foreigners go to Pyongyang, because it gives the perception,
Yeah.
like, oh, it's not as bad as people say.
It's like Disney World,
Exactly.
right? But the thing is, even within Pyongyang, remember that Otto Warmbier from Virginia Tech, the
Yeah.
young man who got killed by the regime?
Yes.
Even as a tourist, when you go to North, you cannot walk around freely.
You're always accompanied.
Absolutely. Even in your hotel room, you cannot. His crime was going to wrong floor in his hotel by himself
Wow.
without the guard.
I'm not even pushing the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying you push the floor.
Yeah.
I'm not even. Was there an elevator? Yeah, there's got to
Yeah,
be.
there
an
was
elevator.
in the hotel.
Yeah.
It's elevator.
Now, where is the money coming into North Korea in order to prop up a city like that?
So, first source is coming from selling weapons. They sell the nuclear strategy to Pakistan, Syria, those countries.
How did North Korea get a nuke?
They got the technology from Soviet Union in the 60s, 70s. So they helped
'Cause they were
North Korea.
communists,
Yeah. They
And the
helped,
Soviets were propping them up before China.
yeah, with China. They were like using North Korea as a buffer zone from South Korea, Japan, and America.
Right,
During the Cold War, they helped North Korea to build the nukes.
Okay, so they build the nukes, so they have the nukes, and that's their one, what we would call like a trump card.
Yeah.
Not actual Trump, but it's a term, right? A trump card, where it's just like, if they didn't have the nuke, most people would probably just go in there and, do regime change or something like that. But the fact that they have the nuke, it's a very dangerous proposition,
Right.
right?
Yeah, but even before the nukes, they would not go do anything there. So I don't think there's people interested in North Korea. I don't think the argument where there's no oil is a real thing. But just somehow, I don't think the world cared about human rights that much, even till this day, that they would like go in there and change the regime.
Oh, I wasn't talking about even human rights. I was talking about like for example, if I'm China, right? Do I really want someone who I don't trust, who has nuclear weapons, leading a country, or do I want a puppet?
Oh, China is so grateful because North Korea makes them look good. I mean, imagine, like, without North Korea.
Yeah, it's like when a pretty girl has an ugly friend,
Exactly.
right? So you have to walk around with the ugly friend, so people go, "Oh my God, she's so
Unless
ugly." You
you're
don't
not
even
that
notice.
bad, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, not even a pretty girl, like a medium girl with an ugly friend.
Yeah.
Oh, because as long as we're talking about North Korea, we're not talking about what China's doing with the Uyghurs.
Yeah, it's not as bad. Nothing is gonna be comparable to what North Korea does, right?
Oh, wow.
So we're not gonna talk about Chinese human rights abuses as much.
Interesting.
That's the one reason why they want them to be there. Also, everything is under Chinese control.
So that was the other thing that I heard you say. So China bought, I guess, the mineral rights and the
Yeah,
mining rights
yeah.
for all of North Korea.
They like lent the lands for 300 years.
So basically, it's
It's
yeah.
theirs now.
Yeah.
It's like we are colonized by China.
Yeah.
But not only that, like North Korea has no oil, right, themselves. So they cannot, even like if test nukes without the oil. So China got that line for them because nobody in the world can give them the oil.
Oh, that's right, because they're an embargo.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to, they could just stop
the
oil.
oil. Just 1 week, the regime collapses.
Oh, wow.
So China's propping it up.
Yeah, they don't let them. Like even during the pandemic, they were like in the dark, in the black market. They would give him the oil in the behind the scene. New York Times actually covered that up. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I thought that they were just creating a buffer zone, which is quite common with countries. Is
Yeah.
you want a little bit of like it's similar to what's happening right now with like Russia and like Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's like Ukraine didn't join up with what is it called again?
NATO?
The
NATO. They didn't join up with NATO, and then Russia was like, okay, there's a buffer right here. We don't have NATO on the doorstep. We got something that might be like neutral. We don't know. And the second they talk about maybe joining up with NATO, it's like, no, we're in there. We can't do it. But what you're saying is interesting. It's a publicity stunt almost. They're keeping this country impoverished, enabling the poverty. So people talk about the atrocities going on there instead of the atrocities going on in their country.
Right.
Now, my question is, would the world care? It seems like we don't care what China does to their people in the same way we don't care what Saudi Arabia does to Yemen. Like, it seems like as long as we're getting something from them or we need something from them, that we just kind of look the other way with the civil rights situation.
Well, that's what I try to change right now.
Yeah.
To make people care.
Yeah.
Because I think people don't realize how dangerous a threat is really, right? It's what I'm afraid of is already there. North Korea is too big to fail. Their nukes, they have a capability of attacking actually mainland America. And while we are getting so destroyed with each other and infighting, everything, the enemies are keep growing, and their only goal is destroying America.
That's
North
all-
Korea's only goal is destroying America.
Why do they hate us so much?
Because this country stands up for freedom and human rights, individual liberty, and all the things that North Koreans cannot have.
Our culture is very seductive, and it kind of erodes the ideology.
Of these totalitarian states.
Yeah.
So as long as there's a free society exists, it's a threat to their ruling, right? People want to be like us. They
Yeah.
want to escape to America. We don't escape to North Korea.
Yeah.
So that's why North Korean regime and Chinese regime understand that if they want to make this a norm, the dictatorships as a norm in the world,
Yeah.
they need to destroy democracy.
Yes, but even China has, I think, relaxed their policy on capitalism for sure, right?
Now when it comes to control of the people, it got so bad.
But even recently, the people protested the COVID regulations, and then the government acquiesced. The government said, okay, fine, you guys want to go out there and get COVID? Go get some COVID. It's like the first time in like 100 years
Yeah.
that this has happened where the government basically relented, yeah.
Right. I think that was new about COVID. Like that people really fed up in China.
Yeah.
But even till this day, like we have people trying to rescue North Koreans from China.
Yeah.
You cannot get on a bus without your ID and government authorization. You cannot go to the next town without going through a checkpoint. And it became everything is isolated prison within China, like North Korea.
I also think that, and this speaks to the North Korea, why it's so much more difficult to do in North Korea. I think that like China has a much bigger middle class. And I think when you have a much bigger middle class, they have more power in a revolution.
Right.
And North Korea does not have that at all.
Like, we don't have zero middle class.
Zero. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Question about COVID. Did COVID go through North Korea?
Yeah, it did.
And a lot of people were infected?
A lot.
And how did it transmit into the country? Do you know?
It had to be China because they're the only trading partner, and in COVID is from China. So
But it was through trading that people actually got sick.
nobody really knows. But North Korea did have COVID.
Oh, interesting.
How do you still get information of what's going on in North Korea?
So that's a big operation. Like literally so funny when I talk to my North Korean almost brokers, we have to talk about like sugar and candy. It's all about like, how we try to rescue some people. So North Korea has no internet. They don't have international cell service. So we need to smuggle a Chinese phone through the border to North Korean border.
Wow.
Then it's closed, region is so close, they have the Chinese reception. So from America, we call Chinese number. But the border North Korean agent, they can accept the call. And sometimes the FaceTiming. But the government, North Korean government, jams and watches and listens to all these calls. So we need to go to the deep mountain in the bike to the 30-second call. So on the bike in their hoodie, and they talk for 30 seconds. And then about what we want to know, like how things are going, like, what we want to like, get out of North Korea. Then they need to go several miles and do another call. It takes interesting mission, act of Congress to make a one phone call to North Korea.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the geography that much, but are there places where they can access water, and then
Yeah.
like take the ocean?
Some people do. They
Like in
do
Cuba,
swim.
for example, that's how people obviously get here. They'll just make a boat.
You cannot do that in North Korea. There's a police that even the ocean is sealed by the guards.
The entire ocean.
Whole countries of prison camp. Entire country is sealed by the regime. It's a prison camp. Entire thing is. So some people swim for 15 days to Japan.
What?
Literally swam. A son and father, miraculous, they swam in the freezing winter, like end of October, that's North Korea winter. They somehow survived.
Wow.
Escaped to Japan and South Korea, yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second because today's episode is brought to you by Honey, the easy way to save if you're shopping on your iPhone or a computer. Don't you want to save money for free? Why would you not do that? This is an absolute no-brainer. All you get to do right here is save money for free, okay? I'm going to tell you exactly how it works. Have you ever tried to pay for something online and there's always that little box that says, do you have a coupon code? And you never have the coupon code. None of us have the coupon code, but those coupon codes exist. That's why a box is available on the website. Well, what Honey's gonna do for you is gonna search the entire internet, scour the internet for your coupon code. How nice is that? Then you get your items at a discount. Simple solution to the problem, okay? I've used it to buy sneakers. They're coming at a discounted price just because Honey. It's this browser extension that you can use, and it's very simple for you to get it. So whatever you want to buy some headphones, whatever you want to buy, you can buy it using Honey, and if there's a discount code out there, it's gonna be applied to you, okay? Honey doesn't just work on desktops, by the way. It works on your iPhone as well. You can activate on Safari, your phone, and you can save on the go, okay? Now, if you don't already have Honey, you can be straight up missing out. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this show. So get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/flagrant. That's joinhoney.com/flagrant. Enjoy the savings. Let's get back to the show. All right, guys, we're gonna take a break for a second because listen, we already saved your skin, okay? And by we, I mean geology came through in the clutch. You didn't know what to do, okay? And finally simplified the skincare routine. Well, now they're gonna do it for shampoo as well. Simple as that, okay? They have launched a slew of hair and body products and brand new custom control hair system, okay? Just like the skincare quiz, you take that quiz, okay? Same exact thing. They created one that asks you a handful of questions, and just like that, you have your very own personalized hair care routine as well. That's right, they're creating different hair products for your specific type of hair. Think about that, okay? There's no more bad hair days now. Most people are out there washing their hair every single day. They're telling you to stop that. That's how you know you can trust them. Okay, most brands like use as much as possible. They're like, you don't have to wash it that much. Shampoos strip your hair of the oils that it needs, and you can be done with that shit, okay? The custom control hair care routine comes with a truly personalized routine. And for a limited time, they are hooking you up with an absolutely insane offer. Right now, if you use the code FLAGRANT, they'll give you 70% off your first purchase of a personalized hair care routine or their award-winning skin care trial set. On top of that, they're giving you an additional bonus offer on their brand new body care line of super clean body wash and deodorant. They're gonna take care of all your bathroom needs. It's simple. One place to go, and it's Geology. So head over to geology.com. Take the hair care quiz, use the code FLAGRANT, and start living that good hair life. Now let's get back to the show. Important stand-up announcement, everyone. I've booked 3 shows. That's it so far. 3 shows, okay? 2 are at the new New York Comedy Club in Stamford, Connecticut, which looks fucking amazing. Shouts to New York Comedy Club and Emilio. That new club is beautiful. I'm excited to be there. Those are February 23rd. Those are sold out. Thank you. Also, Calgary. Calgary, we missed the day last time. We're coming back this time. We'll be there August 27th, okay? Prince Island Park, Calgary, Alberta. It's part of the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. Sunday the 27th, there it is. There's the show. Canada, pull the fuck up. Gonna be wild. 5,000 people. Let's make it special. I'll see you there. And what do the other countries in the region think about this? Do they talk about it all? Are they concerned about it all? Is Japan concerned about what people in North Korea are going through? Like, I'm trying, do they have empathy for it? Or is it, I don't know, is there like a kind of like lasting impasse where they kind of look the other way?
So they do have a sympathy, Japanese, but they're more scared because whenever North Korea tests nucleus, it goes above them, can drop on
That's
them.
right.
Yeah, they've already gone through that once.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow. Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's their real problem they actually have, that it can just drop on them, and anytime North Korea shoots a missile.
Now, you also said South Koreans look down on North Koreans.
Yeah.
That was kind of surprising to me. I thought there would be a lot more sympathy for what they have to go through. Well, can you talk about that?
I think this is where Americans don't know how other countries are so racist. How exceptional America is.
Yeah.
Yeah, in South Korea, they discriminate literally all the people come from poor countries. That includes, I'm so sorry, India,
You're not sorry.
Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and North Korea too. We are very poor.
Yeah.
And they look up to people coming from the Western European countries who are white. And so, yeah, even though we speak the same language, we have same genetics, same history, we are same Korean, they just discriminate us because we are coming from a poor country.
Do they have any funny jokes about you guys?
Oh my God, I mean, a lot of stereotypes.
Okay, give me.
What are the stereotypes?
We
What are
like
the
this.
stereotypes?
So,
Super heavy. No.
I know, so
Yeah.
South Korea is a democracy and free market, so they need to be competitive.
Yeah.
So they have a saying about the communist North Koreans don't work hard as much as they do, or they are not as competitive. They don't understand capitalism. And then they are not trustworthy
Not trustworthy.
because we believe that like all the propaganda, so we can like worship Kims, right, in front of camera.
Oh.
So they think like, oh, they don't care, like we have to do that to protect our families. They just lie in front of camera and worshiping dictator like that.
Oh, so they think you'll believe anything.
Yeah. So those kind of things. So it's very hard to get a job in South Korea as a North Korean defector.
I mean, I will be honest. There are some things that they say about Kim. No, not Kim Jong-un. Kim
Jong-il?
Jong-il.
Yeah.
There are some things that are pretty wild.
That guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's done apparently a lot of really amazing things that apparently has been propaganda in North Korea. That he's achieved all these records. That he's an amazing golfer. Were you told these things when you were there?
And one thing that I still remember from my math class teacher.
I'm not being rude. I'm looking up the
It's-
things I wrote
it's
about.
okay.
Okay, yeah.
Is that like at Columbia University, professors are saying how math is racist, right? It's made up by white men. The science, biology made up by white men.
I thought it was Muslims. I thought it was Arabs made up.
Arabic did numbers, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now they blame white men. They think the white men made up the gender.
I mean, we
science,
perfected it.
math.
Yeah, we made it
really
the best.
good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Asians are still the best at it, so I don't understand that
Yeah,
part.
Asians
Right.
are really good at it.
But so
Yeah.
Kim Jong-il apparently as a child realized, so teacher asked me, Yeonmi, what's 1 + 1? What do you say?
Say two.
Yeah. And my teacher said, no, my dear leader discovered if you add 1 drop of water on top of another drop of water, what does it become? It becomes a bigger one. That's how he proved the math was made up by the white men.
Wow.
Yo, that kind of holds up.
That's
actually.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's kind of a good point.
Yeah. He sounds like a wife.
Yeah. I'm kind of on his side. I don't know. That adds up for me.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask you some of these things and you tell me if these are true? About Kim Jong-un. Okay. That Kim Jong-il learned to walk at 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's what they say, but I mean, it's got to be true. I am a mother. That's impossible.
Impossible.
8 weeks, you cannot do that. You cannot even crawl.
No,
Literally.
definitely not.
Your kid's not Kim
Fake.
Jong-il, you know? I mean, you never know.
Kim Jong-il played golf. He shot 38 under par, including 11 holes in one.
Do you know what North Koreans thought when we read that?
That the holes in one were from the
We
sex
thought,
camp?
what's golf?
Yeah.
Because we don't have golf for commoners.
Oh, you didn't know what golf was.
He's
So it
brag-
made sense. Of course he's good at golf.
But it's also like he's bragging about stuff that people don't even know what he's bragging about.
Yeah. So I was like, what's golf? You know?
I actually like that one that he's not, that he said like, oh, I only got 11 holes in one. Like he
He
could
didn't
have,
go every
Yeah.
hole.
He wasn't-
he could have said, I
He
mean,
wasn't too ridiculous.
yeah, it's like when you cheat on a test and you get some of them wrong,
Yeah, you
you're
give
like,
yourself a
I'm gonna throw them
96.
off, you know?
Right.
Okay.
Kinda smart.
Okay. Kim Jong-il invented the hamburger.
Oh, wow.
He
Yeah.
called it the double bread with meat. That guy is good with names. He's like Seinfeld, like very creative when naming things.
Very good with the naming. I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, never had a hamburger, so I don't know. It's like
Again, he's saying that he's inventing things that you guys don't even know what the hell it is.
yeah,
like,
so
where
people
is
have
it?
no idea what that is.
You're
you
like, of
know?
course you did, buddy. Who would eat meat between bread?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you get executed for eating beef in North Korea.
Now, he didn't say he invented the cricket sandwich,
Right.
right?
That
he didn't
would
say.
know.
Then you guys be like,
Yeah.
no, you didn't.
Yeah.
We were inventing that in
my uncle
Pakistan.
said
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so some of these are kind of reasonable. Okay. Kim Jong-il's birth saw a new star be created and turned winter into spring.
Oh, wow.
Now, what day was he born? If he was born on the solstice, that's when winter turns into spring.
He was born February 16th.
Oh,
Black
1943.
History Month.
it's almost his birthday.
Black History
Yeah,
Month.
it's his birthday. So the day of shining star is here.
Exactly.
Is there
That's
a
his
big,
birthday.
there's a big celebration?
So his father's birthday is the day of sun.
The day of sun.
He's the universe, right? And he gave his son, was like Jesus Christ, that's Kim Jong-il, the day of the shining
So
star.
what does
day
that
of the
make Kim
shining star.
Jong-un?
The great general.
Oh, he's
Great
just he's
That's
just
a big
Jesus'
demotion.
kid.
That's a big step down. You go from Jesus to general.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they ran out of Bible story. Because the
Yeah.
Bible in Jesus, when he was born, there are stars showing
Yeah.
up, lining.
It's like
so they
Game
were
of Thrones, the
copying
source
that.
material ran
the
out.
rainbows like showing up.
Yeah,
The
to
birds
get like
were
fan fiction
singing.
and stuff. Yeah.
Plus, if he was
Wow.
God, he probably wouldn't be so fat. You know, he would just make himself skinnier.
Well, it depends. You guys have fat gods.
Yeah,
true.
the Buddha's
Yeah.
extremely fat.
Okay, Kim Jong-un invented comedy on YouTube and subtitling clips.
What?
Really, we don't have internet, so that we would not know.
Okay, that
either.
might be fair. Okay, that's good. Kim Jong-un played Jay Williams in an exhibition game and won 7-6.
I have no idea what Jay
Yeah.
Williams is.
Okay,
I didn't hear about-
Again, I'm
I didn't
just
hear about that one.
throwing these things out.
I think you're confusing him with the dictator of Soho.
It might be the case. It might be the case. Kim Jong-un loves Adderall, thinks it's the best drug ever for the most fun having time.
I heard he loves cognac and Swiss cheese.
What is-
and French
oh.
wine.
Cognac and Swiss cheese?
Cognac.
Cognac.
Yeah, cognac.
Cognac.
And Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He drinks 13 bottles of wine each night. That's why he's so fat.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So cognac, Swiss cheese, and wine.
yeah.
And he's just getting massages all day.
And
He's like one of those
orgies every
Wagyu
day,
cows
yeah.
or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Kobe beef.
Kobe beef. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like Kobe beef.
So they pick these beautiful girls to massage the cow that he eats. That's literally one of the pleasure squad tasks.
So the girls have to be beautiful just to massage the cow.
Yeah, they don't use a tool. They have to hand massage a cow for their leader to take.
That's
That's
fine.
better than massaging him,
That's so
to be
much
honest.
better.
That's way
Wouldn't
better.
you rather rub down the cow?
Totally.
Than the
100%.
other cow?
But what
Than
a
the cow that
waste
kills
of
people?
human talent. Like, that's the
Well, we
thing.
don't know. They're talented.
They are talented.
Okay, they're
Come on.
talented. They're talented.
No,
You're right,
she's
you're right.
talking about talent like hot girls. Look at the
Oh,
talent. Yeah.
oh,
No,
that's
just
crazy.
human engineer is just wasted.
That is
There
true.
are 25 millions of people like South Koreans have same capability, same IQ. North Korea is one of the highest IQ by nation in the world.
Did Kim Jong-il say that?
No, it's a world ranking.
Oh, that's a world ranking.
Yeah, it's
okay.
actually legit ranking. And that's why they build the nukes and Biden calls North Korea, Kim Jong does not call him back.
Whoa!
He did not return the call for several months.
Left him on
I
red.
was begging to hear from Kim Jong-un. He was just would not call him back. I mean, what country can do that to America? Seriously.
That Biden can call and they don't call him back?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know.
calling-
Saudi Arabia is the only other one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
China.
I
so-
But it takes 30 seconds to make a phone call. He's got to go up a mountain. There's bad cell service.
That's
Kim
a good
Jong-un
point,
has
though.
a call.
Yeah, that is
I
a
don't know.
really good point that you were just making. Okay, this is the last one. North Koreans believe Japan stole time from them during the 1919 occupation. Kim Jong-il or Un restored the time by moving it back a half an hour in 2015.
So
Probably be own, right?
it is. I think it's more legit. They keep changing history. That's the thing with it, like North Korea.
Yeah.
They always say one day this is our enemy, tomorrow is that's our enemy. You know.
Yeah.
They just keep changing history, but North Korea has their own time zone. They have their own calendar. They have their own race. I'm not an Asian. I'm Kim Il Sung race.
Oh.
That's what they. I never seen the map of the world. They don't tell me I'm Asian.
But can't you also be Asian?
I don't know what Asia is. They don't show us the map.
We don't have a map.
We don't know what the world looks like.
Let me
how
tell you
big-
something. You're Asian. I know that for a fact. You know?
Good to know.
But you could also be part of his race if he wants it.
That's what it says. And
Yeah.
then our calendar begins when Kim Il-sung was born.
Ah.
So we don't know what Christ is. We don't know what the BC or AD, any historical facts. We just the world begins when he was born.
Wow.
That's how everything got created.
Wow.
That's wild.
Oh, because he's Christ.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
No, he's a God.
day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Juche one. That's their own calendar.
Oh, that's so
That's
interesting.
day one.
It's
Unbelievable.
a different planet, literally.
Do you remember when you first met a black guy?
Yeah, in South Korea.
Oh, in South Korea.
And I did
Whoa.
not know what black was.
So what
did
did
you
what'd you think?
So human.
Be honest.
Be honest. I have a friend named
If
Casey
you had a
Martin.
purse, you would have moved it.
No, that's the thing. I literally had no idea about race.
So when you see a black guy for the first time,
Did you ask someone?
Was it like you've heard of what happened with the Native Americans when the boats came and
I
they
did
couldn't
not know
see
what
them?
Native Americans were, right? Like,
Right.
I did not know what Jewish
fucking idiot.
was. Or I did not know what anything of it.
Yeah.
So literally when I
metaphor,
met
but it's
like my friend Casey, I just became friends. And then several years of we became friends and he was like, oh, I'm a black. He's like, what do you mean you're black? I was like, I'm black. Did you not know? Like, I guess so.
But when you looked at them, you were like, you look different.
Not really.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Because the reason why we're asking, because I remember you saying the first time you saw white people, you thought we all looked the same.
You do.
Yeah.
We do.
Black people look all the same too.
I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm sorry.
That's it.
Indians look all the same too.
We say the same about you.
They do. Now, Asian people, when you look at Asians, do you think you guys look the same?
Oh, I'm sorry, we're different.
No.
No, because No, because this blew my mind. You said you had 65 different nationalities in China, and my first question was, how do you know?
Most of them are Han Chinese. 90% of them are.
And can you
Han
see, when you see a Han walking, can you see?
90% are Han, where I was like all Han.
But what I'm saying is when you see them, the way that they walk, do you know?
Yeah. No, how they dress, I know.
You know how they dress.
Or how their face features.
Okay, so
I know.
you can you can look at a Han and be like, ooh, that's a Han right
That's
there.
Chinese.
Okay.
I know that's Chinese.
Okay, where is this Asian from right
This
here?
is great.
Yeah,
Okay,
we played this game before. Where is
Oh my
this
God,
Asian
so-
from? China, Thailand, or Vietnam?
He's China, Thailand, Vietnam. Okay, that region is, he does not look Chinese. Maybe Thailand or Vietnam.
What is that shirt he's wearing?
So is that mice?
Are you hungry?
Calm it down. Calm down over
is it?
here.
All right, final answer, Thailand?
I'm gonna go with Vietnam.
Wow.
Vietnam?
China, that guy was
Wrong. Wrong.
All right, we got a competition. All right, Schultz, this one's for
Okay.
you. This one's
Okay.
for you, Andrew. Which one, what do you think?
She's from, oh my gosh.
Hold on, this is one.
Okay, you go for it. Okay.
Okay.
I got to guess.
Okay, I don't know what that thing she's wearing on her head is. What is that? I'm gonna go Malaysia.
That was my guess.
Yeah.
Let me say.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
I know Asian.
All right, so you're winning. You're winning
she was
1-0.
Muslim.
Okay.
Or no?
What is this?
Oh, I know this one.
He knows.
India, Nepal, or Maldives? Now, what is that right here? What do you think he's talking
Crips.
about?
Gang signs?
Oh. Yeah.
Muds in the Crips.
India?
Muds in the...
India?
Okay, you're going
no?
India?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see it.
All right, that's correct. All right. Oh, that's a tough one.
North Korea. I mean, I can say that's North Korea. That's how I looked like. I had to have the haircut.
You think that's
really?
Korea?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Good.
North Korea.
Okay.
Oh, that's Mongolia.
Yeah, that's-
all day.
Yeah.
Son, I did not know that one.
Oh, come on, dude. Those cheekbones.
Are you ready for harder questions?
No, okay, back. So you're meeting black people, you think they all look the same. You meet white people, you think they all look the same. But Asians, look very distinct, very different.
Yeah, culturally very different. Our
Of course.
mannerisms are different. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, first time you met gay people, what was that like?
So that's like in my book I wrote it. I gave a speech in San Francisco.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, the host came and gave me a hug.
Yeah.
And then I was like so stirred, like I was still very conservative. And like we don't have hugging culture in South Korea.
Yeah.
And like he's like,
Wait, you don't?
No, we
just
don't.
bowing it up?
We bow. We don't even do handshake. We, other genders, very conservative.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I gave you a hug when I
I love
walked
that,
in.
but
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, don't worry, darling, I'm gay. I didn't know what that was. So I go to my hotel room that night and I Googled gay.
Oh,
And that's
I've
how I
done that
The
discovered
images
what
section
gay
is probably
was.
crazy for you.
Did you do videos?
No, just definition of gay.
Oh, okay, just definition. Okay, yeah.
I think that was very, took some time for me to
To understand.
Mhm,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't have a vocabulary gay in North Korea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we
So
don't
what do you
have.
call Kim Jong Un? Because I like, you know how when Rodman comes over and like they.
Yeah, isn't Kim Jong-un gay?
No, he's very straight.
But he has all these like basketball players come over.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's friends. He loves party. He loves basketball. That's what he grew up in. Yeah.
I mean, if you could fly anyone around the world to North Korea to hang out with you, it's gonna be big, strong guy with a,
Yeah.
you know, you don't think?
Maybe. I don't know. You know it better than
I'm
I
just
do.
saying, maybe it's possible, you know?
I heard his brother is gay.
Oh, it
That's
runs in
why
the family.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-chul is definitely gay.
Oh, for
He's
sure,
very-
we know that. But what about Kim Jong-un?
They're all good.
He's very ladies' man.
You think
he
so?
has a lot of mistresses and keep hopping and yeah, he's very into ladies. As
Okay.
far as I know, yeah.
Okay.
But his brother is definitely gay. Maybe that was the matching with his brother.
Wait, is the brother the one that he killed?
No. That's a different brother from different wife.
Oh.
Like Kim Jong-il had 4 wives, main wives, not including all these other harems.
Oh,
So
wow.
from 4 wives to Kim Jong-un coming from 3rd wife.
Oh,
The first wife, the legit first son, that's the one who got killed in Malaysia because he had the actual legit authority to take the throne.
Oh, so he had to get rid of the authority,
Yeah,
protect himself.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But his son is in America.
His son is here?
Yeah. America, CIA went and rescued him. When Kim Jong-un
So we
died.
have Kim Jong-un's
Kim
son.
Jong-nam's son. The
Kim
first,
Jong-nam's son.
the grandson of Kim Il-sung, the first son we have in America.
Have Koreans thought about mixing it up with the Kim name a little bit? It's a
South
lot.
Koreans or North Koreans?
Both. It's a lot of Kim, right?
Most of us Kims, yeah.
Yeah, it's
or
a lot of
Park,
Kim.
Why is
or
that?
Lee.
Yeah.
I guess
That's what
we
I
just
think.
are not as creative. I don't know. It's like, why is that? I don't know.
Now I do have to ask a question. You are married. You had a kid,
Yeah.
right? And then you got divorced. Now, what is more difficult?
Mm-hmm.
North Korea or marriage?
Well, I mean,
You're talking to married guys here. I'm married. I
Okay,
forgot my
okay.
ring.
Yeah.
It's freedom.
marriage is beautiful. I mean,
It is-
I love
it's great.
marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in marriage. I
Same.
believe in family. So,
But it's tough.
It
too.
can be
It can be
tough.
tough.
oh, nothing comparable to North Korea.
it's
Seriously.
Never.
I mean, you
There's
can
been
compare
fights
it.
that I've
You
been in
escaped
with my
both.
wife. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
we've been arguing.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know,
Ooh.
I'd have like a rat burrito you know? Instead of doing this. You know.
Well, you have freedom to divorce. In North Korea, you have no freedom to divorce.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at me. I use that freedom already.
Damn right, girl. Okay, don't leave me hanging. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So wait a minute. Now, did your
God.
when you now did your ex was he a little bit upset that you were being so free? Because he
He's-
probably was like, I got this one. She's not going anywhere.
He's American bastard. He's a white American. So he's a softie.
She's a softie.
Very self-guilty. Very insecure about how good they are.
Oh, really?
I mean, white people have the guilt, right? Always
Yeah, they
feel
do.
bad.
You
don't
white
feel
people,
bad.
you white
Yeah.
people with your
I don't
guilt,
feel
bro.
bad.
These
I
white
don't
people
feel
sad.
bad.
You guys
Yeah.
are okay. You guys are weird.
Yeah. We're the weird. We're a little bit weird. But what? So he
Yeah.
just felt bad all the time. He was just guilty. Like.
No. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Just
A little weird looking.
exactly.
bit.
A little bit. Just a little bit. No. He's an amazing man for my son.
yeah.
So
Yes, he's very
I'm very
good.
grateful for him. Yeah.
And you guys still have a good relationship?
Very amicable.
Okay, and then now you're engaged again?
I'm engaged again. But I'm holding up marriage. Yeah.
Hot item on the street. Now, who's this guy? Who's this guy?
What is dating like?
We need to learn about these guys. We have to help you with these
Okay,
decisions. We have to
okay.
protect you.
I
You're a
love
heavy
it.
queen. So we have to make sure that you're with the right guy. You like the
Okay.
coffee with some heavy queen.
No, I met him on Bumble.
On Bumble.
Yeah, so during
No,
the pandemic in Chicago, I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So my gay friend, who's my stepbrother, said, like, darling, you need to go get laid.
Wait, your gay friend is your stepbrother?
Yeah.
How does that
Yeah,
do the math?
I'm doing the math.
Yeah, so he wanted to adopt me, but I was too big, so he couldn't adopt me. So we became like stepsister, stepbrother since then. So see, I'm not a bigot. They keep saying I'm a right wing and conservative. I'm like, I'm liberal, classical liberal. Like seriously,
100%,
I got
yeah.
divorced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Women's rights.
I'm not that conservative.
Yeah. Okay, this is good.
So what does your Bumble account look like?
Yeah, how come you're not on Raya?
Lots of questions.
I was on Raya.
Okay.
But guys were so like creative
He was-
types.
yeah, he was
And
on
I'm
Raya.
very like classical. I like more like conservative man.
Right.
I like the man who asked me out formally. Like I did not know going dinner means date.
Oh, what did you think it was? Your
Dinner.
dream come true?
It's just like having dinner.
Yeah.
And then they tried like, may I kiss? Like, what the heck are you doing? Like, I was so surprised. Because we were just went out at dinner. I was like, can I kiss you? I was like, no. I was like, oh, I thought you knew this was a date. Like, no, I didn't.
Wait, hold on. This is actually really fun. So you met on a dating app.
No. Just generally, like, you meet people at the conference. They say, oh, do you want us to grab some dinner sometime? Like, okay, that's a good idea. We grab a dinner, and they said, can I kiss you at the end of the day?
Yes.
And I did not know dinner meant date in America.
Now here's a question. Have you ever gone on a few dates with a guy and he didn't kiss you and then you started to get angry and you had to become the empowered woman that you are and you had to go get that?
No, luckily, this was my first guy from the person that I met on Bumble.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then other times when I was on app, they were like, is this really Yeonmi Park? She's married. You got to be like lying. You cannot do that. I was like, yeah, I got divorced, but Wikipedia, I think, didn't update it as fast as they could. People thought I was like faking it.
Right.
So they were like, you cannot do that. You cannot lie about your identity.
They don't believe you for anything.
You
Huh?
don't believe people at all here.
Okay, so you go on a date with your fiance.
Yeah, new partner,
Where does
yeah.
he take you for the date?
We went to Chicago during the pandemic in the minus 27 Celsius. Not
Wait,
quite
on a
40.
date you went there?
No, because everything looked closed.
Yeah.
And then guys was like, do you want to come to my place? Like, hell no. I'm not going to meet you. It was like, everything's closed.
Yeah.
So like, then let's meet outside the tent in the snowy, freezing Chicago. So we met that. And then he found warmer like restaurant with the tents up outside because of the pandemic, everything closed.
Yeah.
So we met at the restaurant.
Now, is it difficult for a guy to complain about his life to you? Like, you know, I love complaining about my life to my wife. Today was difficult, you know what I mean? Like, the bill was late, you know what I mean? I stubbed my toe. Does a guy feel uncomfortable complaining to you after what, you know, you've been through?
So my current fiance's complaint is I'm too soft on men somehow.
You are too
I'm
soft.
too sympathetic to men.
Really?
So he's not used to like women keep sympathizing. Like look at the actual data, men are struggling. Women, the modern economy, modern society designed for women than men actually. It's better for girls graduating from school, getting an office job, right?
Yeah.
And I'm worried as a mother of son, like it's gonna be harder for him. And I think it's the first time he met somebody who worrying about men's hardship in life.
Oh, wow.
So I think I'm very sympathetic.
Why do you think men are struggling?
I think they're genetically, I mean, nothing's wrong with it. Like, even I observe my son, like his communication skills is not as developed as a girl's. The speed is different, the maturity is different, his like fine motor skills is different. The ability to sit down and focus is like not as good as girls. It takes a while for them to mature up.
Yeah.
And they have different, I mean, hormones. Men and women are different. I don't know why this is such a big opinion in America right now.
But culturally, why do you think that there's a struggle for young men? It does seem like that's a part of a conversation right now that a lot of people are having, and some people are reluctant to have.
So this is funny, but I had a previous agent, and they were asking me, Yeonmi, why don't you write a book about how hard it is to be a woman? How horrible the world is that run by men?
Yeah.
And I'm like, my father died from this dictatorship. Like men are equally even more affected by these hardships.
Yeah.
Not just women.
Yeah.
It's not that men are a problem, but I think current somehow narrative in America is that men are evil. They are toxic. Because of the politicians are men, we have war, we have poverty, we have inequality.
Yeah.
So it's hard when the world is literally against you.
Yeah.
You know, they keep telling you everything about you is toxic.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you be sane even?
I think a lot of times what happens is that, you know, we see toxicity exist within power structures, and then we look for a blame, which are the people that are in power. And if the people in power look a certain way or they're of one gender, we ascribe that blame to that gender, to their looks.
Yeah,
right?
that's a definition of racism and prejudice.
100%.
And they are doing that literally to men. That's so sad.
Yeah, and I think that we would probably do it to women if women were in power. And if it was
Not
white
these
women...
days. I mean, you guys cannot, like, in South Korea, the women, like, they office, like, okay, we don't have a good environment for us to cry and be emotional about things. So if the guy said, okay, if I look at your eyes, it's too confrontational. If I look at your chest, it's like, I'm sexually harassing you.
You did look at my chest just right
Okay,
there.
I mean, you're a man, I can do that.
I haven't looked at your chest one time, I just want to say.
Like, for guys, it's like walking on the ice shell. Like, anything they do can be a problem. So I think we are less forgiving to men, especially white men. It's so sad, like my son, he's not gonna ever be, nobody gonna be compassionate to him because he's a half Asian, half white. He's so screwed.
Do you think that he'll get half compassion? You think there'll be some compassion for him being Asian?
They say that Colombia is talking about like the real oppression, how people are still enslaved, that slavery never ended. And yes, of course, Black Lives Matter, and every lives matter. I hope you don't mind saying that. But like, I don't know. So sorry.
You got the pen.
Yeah, but
Yeah, North Korean lives matter. You know what I mean? She's talking about all lives.
But they say that you don't know oppression because you're a white passing person.
To your kid, they would
To
say
me.
that. Oh, to you?
Yeah, they say I
don't think
know.
you're white passing, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Right, that's why I keep adding shading and bronzes and to make me look more tan, actually. Sorry, like, darker is better. And look at you, I'm like... Seriously, I was robbed 2 years ago in Chicago during the like BLM protest. I got robbed by several black women. And there, as you can see, I'm like below 80 pounds. I'm much smaller than these girls.
Yeah, now.
I was still very small. They're punching me. They took my wallet out of me.
Whoa.
In front of my son. And then I was trying to call police on them. Obviously, anybody do when they get robbed.
Yeah.
People on the street circle me and then screaming at me that I'm a racist. Because I'm gonna call a cop on these thieves.
You did say they all look the same to you, so maybe you just got the wrong person.
I mean, this lady punched me. Like, I had a video of her.
You're only
like,
looking out of one eye at that point.
on my chest, to my heavies.
That's what...
I went through a lot. Seriously.
Oh, maybe they're swollen still.
Exactly. She hasn't gone down yet.
See, even she wanted them too. That's the thing. That is the thing. That is... Are we victim blaming? We might be victim blaming.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Okay, so those black women were trying to steal your heavies.
They did. I mean, they punched it and then took my wallet away.
Oh,
and
they
then
took your wallet.
spent like 15 grand on the blooming there. And then the police got the video footage of them using my credit card, so we caught it. So I was doing a go with the prosecution, okay, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, I felt bad for her, but it was almost like, you know, you cannot commit a crime.
Yeah, why would you feel bad for the person who's just
also,
punching
15
you?
grand at Bloomingdale's is not food.
Yeah.
But then she actually had 15 charges already.
Oh, wow.
And then people are saying there is like actual like a revenge crime is a huge thing in Chicago. They just come back out of prison and shoot you.
Oh, wow.
And the public figures like, oh my God, I cannot be in Chicago. I'm so known already. They can't find my location.
So you had to move?
Yeah.
Immediately. And then you moved
And while
too.
she was in prison, we got here.
And wait, while she was in prison,
Yeah, she I
you
think
came to
had
New
a
York.
year and a half on her because my charge was not even a thing. She had way more crazy stuff she did, so they dropped all my charges and just gave her one sentence that was like a year and a half.
Wow.
Prison.
Now we got crazy people in New York too.
I know. It's
America's
insane.
kind of wild, right?
Chicago and New York is wild.
Yeah.
The SF, LA, like Seattle, the big left like cities is very wild.
You think they're more wild? But what
I
about
mean,
down south? It's also kind of crazy
She's
down south.
I was studying Bible in South, I remember. I mean, I was just in Texas just like yesterday.
Florida is kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
I don't
For like the most crazy American stories, they usually come from Florida.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, the best stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm
Mark
from
is
Florida.
from Florida.
Yeah, it's like the North
watch out for
Korea.
this
It's
dude.
the North Korea of America in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's
In a lot of ways,
a
yeah.
lot of very dangerous.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I mean basically like there's just a lot of headlines that'll come out of Florida where it's like Florida man does crazy thing, you know, kills an alligator with his teeth, and then it'll make the headlines and everyone looks at Florida and says that we're all stupid even though we're not.
You guys are the free state right now. I mean, I want to move to Florida.
Thank
That's
you.
my dream state.
Thank you.
Really?
Is it really?
Yeah, I cannot move because of the custody issue.
Because the what?
My ex does not want to move.
Oh, the custody.
We have 50-50 shared custody, so.
That doesn't feel very free. That feels restricted.
No, I mean.
What do we do?
I think your
What do we
child,
do?
your son is a socialist.
A
That's the issue.
dictator.
Yeah.
Your son's a communist.
Does it make you understand dictators a little bit when you have a situation like this? Like now, you know what I'm saying? Now you have the rule of law, so now you're restricted. But if you were a dictator, you could be like, we're going to Florida.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good law.
It's a good law, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you got to live here.
It's not that bad compared to, I mean, New York,
Yeah.
what do I complain? I mean, you guys are here.
That's true.
So,
We went to Florida too.
you did?
We were there for like 4 months.
Okay,
It was great.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was fantastic.
It was
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. It's a great place.
Okay.
Yeah, not a lot of Asians, to be honest with you.
That's true.
There's
it's
almost no Asians
No
in
North
Florida.
Koreans.
Which part of
Miami.
Miami is
all of
not
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of Hispanic, I guess. The old
Yeah.
Cubans speaking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Some would say too many.
No? No.
Yeah. No,
I have a
they
question.
wouldn't say that.
In North Korea, did they drink alcohol?
They do, but it's like homemade.
They make their own.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like very strong.
And so when you come to America, do you drink alcohol now?
I started drinking when I was going through divorce.
That's a good time to start. Yeah.
I did not drink until that point, so I became very into wine now.
You like the wine?
Yeah.
What about things like weed? Like a lot of people in America smoke weed, but I'm sure in North Korea it's not common. Would that be interesting? Would you try that?
So I'm so sorry, but even if my son watches, it's okay. He's a 5, he's not gonna. But I did like swallow once. Doesn't do anything.
The weed didn't
The
affect you
first
at all?
time it doesn't do it.
Really?
Yeah, you got to hit it again.
I had a friend who's Singaporean. Do you know Melissa Chen?
Yes,
So she
on
and I,
Twitter. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so she and I
yeah.
are friends,
Yeah.
and she told him like this, like MDMA, LSD, or
Have you tried
weed.
that?
No, she's like that doesn't do anything to her. So I tried the weed; it doesn't do anything.
Mm.
But I did MDMA therapy. Oh, I did something.
Therapy.
It's a therapy. Actual therapy.
Me
I
too.
I did it with a therapist actually.
Okay, and it's awesome, isn't it?
It's amazing.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should all do something.
Wait, what
Hold
happened?
on. Yeah. Break it down. Break it down.
I mean, I met my father again.
Wow.
Like, yeah, he came back and explained everything to me.
Wow.
And it was
From
amazing.
MDMA?
Well, this is
To psilocybin, they mixed.
Oh, they mix the MDMA
Plus
and
therapy.
mushrooms.
Psilocybin.
Psilocybin is, from anybody watching at home, that's
Yeah.
mushrooms. So you
Yeah.
were using mushrooms
Weed
and the
and
MDMA.
And therapy.
Yeah.
And together,
Yeah.
you met your dad again.
Yeah.
What
Did he say anything to you?
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of, pain that I had guilt. Like, I'm sorry. I feel guilty that I survived.
Yeah, for sure. Survivor's
And-
guilt is common.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I feel just so bad. And he's like, no, I made all this for you to
Yeah.
have. This is what I want for you to have. So,
He's excited. He's happy. He's
yeah,
looking
he was
down.
very happy for me.
He's very proud of you.
And-
now, was
Yeah.
there a little part of him that was like, this is great, but why are you using drugs? naughty. My daughter's a
true.
drug addict now.
Yeah, no.
These Americans in their therapy.
Exactly, those gays ruined me.
That's what happened.
You make friends with gays, now you're doing Molly and ecstasy and mushrooms. This is why you can't go to San Francisco.
Yeah, you can't. That's where I did it. So.
Now, the gays do have the most fun with the drugs and everything like that.
Oh, they do?
You're in good
Okay.
hands with them.
Okay.
Don't take drugs with just straight guys.
No, okay,
No.
yeah.
If a gay guy gives you drugs, you take it.
They're the best guy
Yes.
ever was.
I always take drugs from gay guys. Now, the next day, my ass hurts a little.
Why?
No, that'll happen.
Diarrhea?
No, it was a joke about how gay guys have sex.
Oh.
Oh, you don't know that? She doesn't know that part yet.
No, baby.
Not in the mouth. No. When Okay.
I heard you mention on Rogan about Burning Man. Did you go yet?
No, I haven't.
Are you going to?
I don't know if I really need to see that much about freedom. It's like,
This is we go. This
You
is
guys go?
Yeah.
yeah.
And I would recommend that you go.
You do?
Yeah, there's only 10 rules. They're not even rules, they're principles. And then outside of that, you just express yourself in whatever way you want to express yourself.
Yeah.
And people have to include you radically.
Radical expression, I heard.
Radical expression and radical inclusion.
Inclusion, yeah.
So they have to include you. Yeah.
It sounded a bit like a communism, like collectively we all
You gotta
taking
tell me that
care
whole
of each
sentence
other.
one more time.
Sorry.
Sounded like
I didn't
communism.
understand
It's
one
not-
thing that you just
no,
said.
they said
One more
it's-
time, one
sorry.
more time. It's okay,
It
it's
was
okay.
like everybody had things to bring to each other and taking care of each other.
Communism.
And I was like, I'm just sick of the collectivism and like. So
Well, no, it is communism. That's
it
the beauty.
is.
But communism only works for 1 week when everybody's on drugs.
Under drugs it works. 'Cause
Yeah.
we can go against our
when
human nature.
everybody's rich
Yeah.
and then they're on drugs, we can be
Yeah.
nice to each other for 7 days.
Right.
And then it falls apart.
right.
But for those 7 days, you experience the euphoria of what communism could be.
on drugs.
On drugs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you were communist, you would do the drugs, right?
Who's gonna work? Who's gonna make?
There's nobody works under communism.
That's why we're starving.
Exactly. Yes. This is the problem. But for 7 days, it is kind of cool. So you can go see the idea behind these, horrible totalitarian dictatorships if you want
If
to
I
experience
want.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, you charged up and you're really excited.
Okay.
And you can bring whatever you want.
Bring whatever I want.
What would your gift be?
My gift be
What would your gift to the playa? Because everybody has to bring a gift to the playa.
Two of them.
some grasshopper fries. I love arthro stamps.
Listen, honestly, I would show up to your grasshopper fry cart and have some grasshopper fries. I would eat insects 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not against the insects thing.
Okay.
The rats to me is just a little bit crazy.
Too much.
For
Okay.
me, it's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
No, I think like it's not that bad.
Okay, is there anything that Americans eat that you're like, ugh, what's wrong
Blue
with these
cheese.
people? Blue cheese. I agree.
Oh,
agree.
It smells like shit.
It does. It does smell like shit.
I was like, what the? Why would you eat this voluntarily? Like,
It's the French. They went too far.
oh, that's
Yeah.
French stuff.
Liberté.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much liberty.
It's too much liberty.
I just
Yeah.
can't do the bad shits, yeah.
There's limits to liberty,
I
right?
love brie. Brie is perfect. The
Brie is
cheese.
enough, but
Yeah.
you go
Yeah.
past it.
Oh, no way, yeah.
I'm with you. I'm so with you.
Yeah.
But that's the French. It's like everybody agrees. They're like, a woman becomes a woman at 18.
Yeah.
And then the French are like, well, what about 14? And you're like, whoa,
French
too
go too
far.
far.
They always
The other one
push.
is too old
Yeah.
or too young.
Yes.
It's just too
Too
much.
young.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So then maybe the French are like, what happens when freedom is too free?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean,
Right?
yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a break for a second because listen, some of y'all are gonna get into accidents. I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does happen, I hope you get paid, especially if it's not your fault. You know what I mean? You heard about Shifty damn near shitting his calf because he got hit by a Subaru, okay? Run over by 3 lesbians in Bushwick and takes a dump right on his calf. Didn't even sue him. Think about that. Didn't even sue him. He should have protected himself. You know who would never have tolerated that? Our people over there at Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have 100 offices nationwide and more than 800 lawyers, okay? And if you're ever injured, you can just check out Morgan & Morgan, the official law firm partner of the UFC. Bam, bam, bam! With over $15 billion recovered for clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. Also, their fee is free unless you win. Think about that. You don't have to pay them anything until you win. Then you pay them. Who's more incentivized to help you get money than the people that only get paid if they get you the money that you deserve? They fight for the people and not the powerful. And that is why they're giving away 2 tickets to UFC 285 in Las Vegas to see John Jones and Cyril Gahn go at it. To learn more about how to enter this contest, just go to morganufc.com/flagrant. That's morganufc.com/flagrant. morganufc.com/flagrant to win 2 tickets to UFC 285. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends February 21st, 2023. Open to residents of the 48 U.S. and D.C., ages 18 and older. Void where prohibited. For official rules, visit morganufc.com. Now let's get back to the show. All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second because it's time we had to talk. You know the talk, okay? 3-letter word, ends in X, okay? Probably first found out about it with your parents. Probably your dad staring at him like, damn, that looks incredible. You know what I'm talking about. Tux. Yeah, tuxedos, okay? See that? That was misdirection. We're talking about tuxedos, and we're talking about an absolutely brilliant business model that's gonna solve your tuxedo problems for the rest of your life. Those problems are gone. It's done. You never have to worry about those problems ever again, okay? The Black Tux company makes it super easy for you to get an on-trend, top quality, guaranteed to fit tux without ever leaving your house, and here's how it works, okay? Yeah, they're gonna make you take a quiz, the Black Tux Fit Quiz. You pick the style that you wanna rock, and boom, your tux is delivered to your door 10 days before the day you need it. That's plenty of time to try it on, make sure it wears well. And if the fit's not quite right, they have a Black Tux Fit Guarantee. Order a better size within a day or two of receiving the less great fitting one, and they'll send another one right away at no extra cost. Think about that. And if you prefer the indoor experience, well, guess what? The Black Tux has showrooms across the country. Their expert fit specialists will help you find the perfect style tux or suit and make sure it fits just right. So, whether you want to rent a tux, you want to buy a tux, the Black Tux Company is the best place to go when you need a tuxedo for a wedding or a special night. And you know what? I've done it. I've used it. That's right. I had a little birthday party down in Miami, and you know what? I need to get tuxed out. What I have to do? I have to holler at the Black Tux to make this possible. I have to go rent one. Why? Because that person wasn't important enough to buy a tuxedo for it. That was a rental guy. That was a rental friendship, okay? If it's a really important one, then maybe you gotta buy it. Should I wish I knew about the Black Tux on my wedding? That's a fact. The Black Tux, okay? And right now, when you go to theblacktux.com/flagrant, use the code flagrant, you're gonna save 10%. That's TheBlackTux.com/flagrant, code flagrant to save 10%. TheBlackTux.com/flagrant, code flagrant. Now let's get back to the show.
Also, guys, dates, real quick. First of all, thank you everybody who came through to Sacramento. We sold it out before I even got there, so thank you guys so much. Now, March 9th through 11th, I'm coming back to Miami, to the Improv. I want to live there, guys, so sell it out. Make it feel like home. July 12th, Huntsville, Alabama at Stand Up Live. July 13th, Zany's Comedy Club in Nashville. Also, soon we're going to be announcing some dates in Denver. Y'all have been asking me to come there for years. I'm finally going to be there. It will be in April. It will be a special occasion. I'll see you guys there. Go get your tickets at akashsingh.com. Now let's get back to the show.
Do you have a pet? Did you get like a dog or a cat when you came to America?
She divorced him. Okay. She got the divorce, Mark. She's not. She divorced the man, okay? They're in a custody battle right now.
Similar.
Okay?
Marriage
you got yourself your very own white man. That is a fucking accomplishment, you know?
It is in North Korea that that's buy like 1,000 pieces. I did.
Really?
Yeah.
If you marry a white man?
You can't. I mean, there's no white man there, but
Well, Otto
international
Warmbier
marriages,
or whatever, wasn't he?
he got killed. He got tortured. His like whole teeth got rearranged.
Oh
and they
my
were taking
goodness.
his teeth
Yeah,
out, like,
you don't want to marry that guy.
electrifying him. They were torturing him.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay, so back to you though. So despite all of that, you went after and you hooked a great white, as they call him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you?
I like divorced him. So I'm not into white as well. I'm calling my fiance Iranian.
Oh.
I thought it was Arab. So I was like, are you Arab? He's like, no, I'm not.
Oh, that's right. The Iranians, they believe that they're from the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, so I'm very liberal when it comes to...
Did you date any Koreans before
I
you?
did not.
You never dated a
that
Korean?
I'm racist against.
She had
do
bad
not
experiences
date
with Korean men.
Hold on, wait, why?
I've never dated one.
Really?
I'm just sorry, but it just feels like I'm with my own...
Say it.
No, but...
Yeah.
No, I like hair.
Is it true what they say about North Korean men? I heard they're really hung.
I don't know, I've never seen one.
Really? Never?
Really?
I was 13. We don't have sex education in school.
Oh.
We don't know what sex is. We don't have a vocabulary.
Oh, you were
for it.
talking about their penis sizes, Alex?
Yeah, I heard North
Oh my
Korean
God.
men.
And
they're
there's
like
no North
really
Korean porn. How do you watch what North Korean men look like?
Yeah, wait. But then you were in South Korea.
I never dated once. I don't know.
You didn't do anything like that.
No.
Now, are there certain South Korean dudes that are coming at you and they're
Yeah,
like,
I was in the university in South Korea.
and were they hitting on you nonstop? What did they say?
Well, they're very sweet. I'm always like in the library, so they like make like math, questions. I know the answer to this, like the,
They
math.
hit on you with math
I don't know what your
questions?
number might be.
Wait a minute, that's game right there.
Yeah. I was was studying criminal justice, the law and criminal laws.
Yeah. Oh my God. So they came up with some math questions.
Yeah, in the
and you were
library.
like,
No,
nah, I'm good. Not
Yeah.
having it at all.
Never got attracted.
But then the Iranian, he knew how to.
Persians have game.
Persians, yeah. I think Americans, like, when I came, just like, I don't know, like, I think they keep saying, like, you know, that if you don't hear about these stereotypes, you don't know them. So there's no any preconception in you. It's very great things. You can just start, like, everything is fresh.
Everything's fresh.
You learn about for the first time. I did not know Iran was not Arab. Like,
Right.
I thought they were all, like, Muslims, you know. And he's like, no, he eats pork. So
Oh, interesting.
What is he,
Have you ever
Christian?
dated a black guy?
nobody came up. I don't know. I think maybe
That's on you.
really I'm not their type or something.
Wait a minute, you never got hit on by a black guy?
No.
Well, you got hit on by a black woman, but that's a very different.
Exactly, different eating. Yep.
So you never had a black guy approach you at all?
No.
Just white guys and Asians, and
A lot
then
of
one
Jews.
Iranian.
A lot.
Yeah,
Jews love it, huh?
That's
Why
a
is
thing.
that?
Why is that? You think?
Similar
No,
history.
it's
They
like,
do. I think there's like a connectivity right there.
Oh, maybe we went through Holocaust. Like we are going to modern day Holocaust. They went through actual Holocaust.
Exactly.
Maybe
You
that's
felt it. You also have the pressure, the family pressure.
Family and academia.
Academia, study.
Yeah.
But you never got with the Jewish guy though. You don't date a Jewish
I
guy.
had the first boyfriend that was Jew, who was a Russian Jew, by the way.
Oh.
I know his name was.
You went back to the Soviets.
Yeah. He was like very conservative.
Very
He was, like,
conservative.
Libertarian, like not like a Christian conservative, like libertarian conservative.
Libertarian.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
believed in the freedom.
Free market, individual liberty, constitution, like that.
Yeah. Don't tax me.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
tax.
that's it, yeah. He was
Government
rich.
Evil. Government is evil. No, he was not. He wanted to be.
The government isn't that evil. It just they want a lot of money. I
Yeah.
think that's
They're
more the
greedy more than
philosophy,
evil.
right?
Very greedy,
Yeah,
yeah.
because if the government was the exact same, but they wanted no money, I think there's a lot of libertarians that'd be like, yeah, this government's fine. Everything's working out.
Yeah.
No, those don't. Do you know American malice? They don't believe in borders.
But Mike is, I love Mike.
I love
Mike.
him too,
Yeah,
but
but he believes in chaos.
Exactly, the anarchist.
Anarchist.
Like, literally, no border, no
Yeah.
military, no government. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that country.
No, me
Whatever
neither.
you're
And
saying.
neither does he.
That's my theory.
It's easy to say that, but then when it happens, it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's first.
And I'm the one who's gonna be raped.
What, well,
Like, if there's
no,
no police
that's
to
no
protect
more.
me.
We're not letting that happen anymore.
So we need the government.
We like the government protecting from that.
Right,
Okay?
yeah.
And your strong Iranian husband to be
Yeah.
in the very near future. And then more.
Not very near future, yeah.
Oh.
I'm becoming American.
No,
Yeah.
you are really becoming an American woman.
Yeah, they say average women gets married around 34, 35 in New York.
Yeah,
I
how
was
old are
married
you?
at 22. When I was 22, I got married.
But you're like Korean 22, so that's like 44 or something. Isn't like the age different?
Yeah,
with
the math doesn't math.
Remember you said like you're born and then you
different.
turn
Yeah, so
You turn
2
at
years
one.
of difference. So I'm 29
in Korea.
in American age.
Oh, so you're 31 in Korea.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 39.
So you're 41 in Korea.
Damn.
You're in your 40s.
I'm in my 40s.
Bro, you're a wash.
I'm killing it right now, dude.
He looks it.
I am killing it right now. Okay, this is very interesting. I like this part of your life where you're enjoying yourself, you're out there dating.
Do you get to travel much, like in America and around the world?
Not as much around the world now, but now I'm on the book tour. So I'm like literally going everywhere in America.
Are you scared to leave the country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot go to countries like Malaysia. I mean,
because they'll come after
or
you.
like Colombia, or like Mexico, Brazil, like where it is so $500 can hire the hitman, so easy.
And you think that North Korea would hire the hitman and take you out?
Yeah, they all have embassies there.
Oh!
Yeah, that's how they killed Kim Jong Nam. They hired these girls and told them you are like shooting a like Frank video. Put them in a VX nervous, like with 2 years hamen. Why don't you rub his face? They got paid like
They're
something.
doing a what video? A prank video? A prank video.
Prank video,
Oh,
yeah. They told these
yeah.
girls that you are taking the prank video.
Yeah.
So why don't you go up that man and just rub his face? It's gonna be really funny in the video.
And then they just go do it.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
that's how he got
God.
died.
So you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Probably America's fine.
America's good.
Yeah, maybe the UK is okay.
But they killed someone in the UK. Remember the oligarch?
Yeah, the
The
Russian guy.
one, yeah,
The
yeah,
Russian
yeah.
one.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I think America, this
I
is a
think
great country.
this is where you stay.
Yeah, this is where I get buried eventually.
100%.
Not in
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. But if you did go to other countries, you think that you could, let's say you went to Asia, do you think you could easily pretend you weren't you? Like, could you disguise yourself there?
No, I mean, they have the list in the government. China, they have the list in my name in the blacklist.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I cannot even enter. I mean,
Oh, you can't even go into China.
yeah, if they do let me in, they're gonna kidnap me. That's what they do. They send them back to North Korean agents. They have
Oh
North Korean
my
agents
God.
operating everywhere in China.
And what if you went to South Korea again?
South Korea they send a lot of assassins with like poisons and guns.
wow.
They like shoot them in their apartments. I mean, they were the one told me like I'm not safe.
Wow.
Their intelligence, South Korea.
Really? So they were like, yo, you got to get out of here.
No, they're all like they say we can put you with 3 detectives. Gonna be with you 24/7.
Wow.
Man, 3 guys with me all the time. I was like, I didn't escape for this. You know?
Do you know any, do you know any like
kung
defense?
fu?
Do you know Taekwondo is the Korean martial art, but like, do you know anything to protect yourself? Do you have a gun?
I do yoga.
Yeah, you can try that. You can try that. That's why those,
That's
that's why those girls robbed you. Yeah. That's why they robbed you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to have a gun, but I have a son. So it's in New York City, apartments are so small. So I want to have a like home where like there's basement.
Florida.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, you go to Florida or Texas, then you
I
can get a gun.
have a
And then your
safe
husband
one.
will do whatever you want. Did you know that that's also something that happens with a gun?
Really?
Yeah. Have you not been to like a shooting range or
I've
anything?
been. I loved it.
Oh, you shot it. You
fun,
shot a
right?
gun?
Yeah.
How was
like
that?
all time, very, very cool.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
crazy,
I feel
right?
so powerful. It's an equalizer. I mean, you and I, like, if we are fighting,
Right.
like, we are equal if we have the gun with our hands.
Yes.
Our
Yeah.
size doesn't matter anymore.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's an equalizer.
Absolutely. It's so empowering.
That's the idea.
yeah,
of
for someone
America.
like me, like so small,
Yeah.
I felt so powerful, yeah.
Do you think in order to have like real freedom or freedom of speech, for example, you also need to have something to protect that speech?
Someone to protect.
Something to protect it.
You need guns.
Like-
Absolutely.
Right? Like
I mean, imagine if North Koreans had the guns. We're not gonna let they take my father like that.
Hell
I'm
no.
gonna shoot them.
right in their fucking
Yeah,
head.
if they come get 3 generations of my family, I'm gonna shoot them back even if I get killed. No country can do that to their own citizens if they have the right to defend themselves.
Damn right. So it's a good idea that we have some
Of
guns.
course, we should absolutely have the guns.
100%.
That's the only way we can stay free. from
That's
Germany.
facts.
Yeah.
I agree. Now, a lot of people say, they're like, but we couldn't overthrow our government because our government has way better guns. They have way, the
have drones.
military.
Are they gonna kill us all? Are they gonna kill us? I mean, like, then where's the nation to rule? Who to like dictate? Right? I mean, what's the point of they bomb everybody in their
I
country?
would think you kill enough people that the people who have guns are like, all right, well, you know what? Everybody I see is still losing.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put my guns down.
No, if they come for your wife, your children, your parents, they're gonna kill them. You're gonna kill you. I mean, you're gonna shoot them back.
Right.
I think it also depends, like, how you and your wife are doing that day. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
there's a lot of
it's
things.
more of like, you
Maybe you
know,
need some therapy.
my trauma. I have to talk about my trauma.
Yeah.
No.
I'm so curious.
Hold on.
You always talk about movies. Like you talked about like Titanic and
Yeah.
like different movies. What was the first movie you came to America and you saw in a movie theater? Do you remember?
Interview.
The,
The interview Sony about killing Kim Jong-un.
That was the first movie you saw?
Yeah, December 24th that came in the independent movie theater. They showed in Christmas Day.
That's so funny.
What, did you like it?
I didn't get the jokes. My English was so bad back then.
You
I
should
just-
rewatch
So
it.
it was just traumatizing. You're just watching
Or
this guy.
porn.
It was like, oh my God, it's a free country. You can't even make like fun of the dictator. You can kill him in the movies and you're not gonna get executed.
Wow.
That's like freedom to me. It's not about how dumb movie is.
Yeah.
I don't get offended. I mean, they had the freedom to make that movie.
Yeah.
If I don't like it, it's my thing.
Yeah.
But I just love that they had ability and freedom to make a movie. They
Yeah.
could do that.
Now, I have a question. You have this incredible story. You're obviously very intelligent. Do you ever get worried that there are going to be certain people that will see your story and they'll be like, hey, this looks really good for our ideology. How do we pay her a bunch of money or try to convince her to say things that we like? Do you ever worry that people try to take advantage of you in that way?
I mean, to be honest, like they keep saying that I'm a CIA agent. I'm like, when are they calling me? Can they
That's
just
some of that
call
money,
me, please,
you know?
right now? They don't call me somehow. I got canceled by FBI Dallas to give a speech.
Wait. What happened?
I was invited to speak last year at the FBI Dallas. to talk about North Korea, educating their like people, and they just head of diversity calls me. Your idea political opinions are too like bigoted. We cannot have you.
Wow,
The
Dallas.
head
That's
of
disappointing.
diversity, FBI, cancels me because my political opinions.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And what was it about the opinions that they
It's-
didn't like?
It was about that I was believing the Constitution, that I believe in men and women are different. There is a real science. Genetics are real. Math is not racist. It's a real science. And
Yeah.
these kind of things.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
I mean, that's absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, do you also think that people are hesitant in working with you because they don't want to upset China?
Yeah, that's very common. So actually my first book, I was with ICM partners. My agent is very mainstream and
Yeah.
they gave me media training. They said you cannot go on Fox, you cannot talk to New York Post. And they're the only people who talk to me right now. But you only talk to New York Times and the other journals, right? And you
Because they were worried you were going to be radicalized by going on only right-wing
No, they
platforms?
didn't want me to be. Nobody gonna forgive if we are on Fox. Fox people don't care. I was on New York Times criticizing Trump for meeting Kim Jong Un. Like that's the thing. Like who's more like inclusive? That I've been on Time
You're
Magazine
saying
and
one-
New York Times.
Once you go on Fox, then New York Times won't
Never
interview.
gonna have you.
Got you. So they basically say, hey, play the game. Go with the left-leaning sites. Go with the left-leaning
They're
publications.
the mainstream.
Go with the
right?
mainstream, and then eventually you can go to the right. Okay.
No. They told me never go to the right. That's why I had to leave my agent.
Oh.
Oh my God! Finding the narrator for my audiobook.
Yeah.
I think we went through at least 10 people. Nobody wanted to do the book because it's a conservative book. So we got somebody
What's
under
the
the
accent?
pseudonym. American woman.
Okay.
And no Asian, like Korean Americans wouldn't do it either. It was like just reading a book. They don't want to put their name on it.
Interesting.
I kinda
Because
get
they're-
Koreans, though.
They're worried why it would affect their career. And also,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Like, I can sympathize for a Korean that wouldn't want to do it because it might put them in danger, their family in danger. But some like American white lady,
They don't want to do it.
yeah.
So we
that's-
got a person with under the pseudonym to do it. Eventually, after like begging people to go around to find the narrator.
Really?
Yeah. And even I had to write this book. They were asking me to write a book about how horrible America is to black men.
Yeah.
How they're putting them in the prison that is similar to North Korean prison camps.
Wow.
And I was like, I think there are differences between American prison and North Korean prison camp. Because North Korean prison camp don't come back alive, usually.
Take that out.
Prisons here, we get up the ass.
That is true.
I would say that's worse.
Yeah.
Oh, up the ass. He's talking about gay sex happens in prison a
Oh,
lot.
in prison.
Yeah, a
but,
lot of-
But you guys get fed, though.
With dick. With dick.
Oh, they get fed. Yeah.
Dick.
They got a lot of meat, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
they get stuffed.
They get stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're full.
But anyway, so it was very hard to write this book.
Yo, get over your little prison rape. Nobody wants to hear about that.
They get fed. That's the point. Or
Yes,
no?
they get from both holes. Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. But no, but they do get fed, and there are rights for prisoners in America. 100%.
They see their family members. There's actual judicial system
Yeah.
to decide what they have done.
It could be
I don't
better.
think she's saying it's good.
Yeah.
I think
think-
she's saying it's not really comparable to what-
100%. Yeah. We're teasing.
Yeah.
We're teasing. I think what you're saying is that there's levels to what's going on, and then sometimes comparing things as if they're equal does a disservice to something that's far more severe.
Yeah.
Because there's awful treatment of black people in America, and there's also horrendous treatment of North Korean people.
Yeah.
And those might be on different levels, but you only know what you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
if
of
black
course.
people in America have only experienced this, then they're going, hey, this is not fair, and I'm not getting what I'm promised by the Constitution. And if the Constitution is promising these things, that's what I want.
Right.
Whereas, so they can be upset at that because the country may be failing them in that regard. And there's a promise that the country has to uphold.
Yeah.
If we believe in this Constitution, we believe in the documents, you better give me my fucking rights.
Right.
Whereas the treatment that people are experiencing in North Korea is not against the Constitution.
Yeah.
It's against our morality. It's against our ethics. It's against our humanity.
Yeah, it's a crime against
It's
humanity.
a crime against humanity.
By the UN. They said this is a modern day Holocaust.
Of course, for sure. So I guess what I'm saying is, like you said in North Korea, like when you were growing up, you only knew what was there. You didn't
Yeah.
know that there was a life outside of it.
Yeah.
And I think so many people also don't understand what's going on in North Korea because they're not there. our lives are small. We know what we're experiencing.
Or in the bubble.
Exactly. So I think it's like, I think a lot of times people want to, maybe they want to take your story and they want to almost weaponize it and be like, hey, everybody, shut up. This is what it's like to be really bad. But maybe we have room for both. Maybe we have room to be like, hey, let's make sure that we understand and try to help these people in the best way that we can, but let's also make sure that all our citizens are receiving the rights that they deserve.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't like when people try to do that with your stuff. Because I feel like sometimes they they'll use it.
Right. So I think
know?
that's the thing with I mean, I could have been the darling of the left and complaining about how hard it is to be a woman and how horrible men is, or the men that I met were rapists in China. And they were like, why just don't you stick with that? But the thing is, none of these people cared about what actually was happening to North Korean women in China.
They just want to use you as a tool
to say the suffering of women. And that was it. And then when I was willing to criticize Trump about how he was a legitimizing dictator, that's when they only want to talk about my story, not about the enslavement of my people in China.
It's almost like people will use parts of your story when it benefits them, but they're not really caring about what you are going through or your people.
Only Christians cared. I mean, they were the only ones. I'm so sorry. They were, with all their flaws, or with all their dogmas, these are the people who came to China with their life.
They care.
They sent to prison for 10 years afterwards, and some of them got killed and assassinated in China with knives stabbing on them. They literally cared about these North Korean people. Nobody cares. Risking their life and rescuing these people. And all they're talking about is they care about lives, and they don't care. All they do is talking. Virtue signaling.
And it's not just North Korea. Like there's a very large Eastern African population in Minnesota. And they were originally lobbied to be brought there by the Lutherans. So it's like Christians have an amazing compassion for people that are going through horrible times and really do try to help and risk their lives.
They do.
I mean, there was that Christian guy that went to that island we were talking about, and he was trying to, I guess, spread, the gospel to this remote. You saw that. News, So it is really cool that you recognize that, and I can see how you would definitely appreciate that, because you have this story that's so seductive that people are going to want to use the parts that benefit them. So how do you protect yourself from that? How do you go, ugh, you just care about my story because it helps your political position or your ideology? How do you push people away who would just be using you and then embrace people who really want to help? How do you decipher that?
I'm not very smart in that way. Like, I think, I believe in humanity. I think if I'm being genuine, I think they can see beyond that. So I try not to discriminate. I try to talk to everybody. So if New York Times want to talk to me, I want to be there. Like if anybody wants to talk to me, even comments organization want to talk to me, I want to go there. Just they don't want me. That's the only problem.
Really?
Yeah, of course not.
And it's because they don't want to upset China. Is that kind of?
She said communist organizations don't want to talk to her.
Like that's the thing. I mean, all the American now, the universities are under the Marxist ideology, right? So,
Is that true? I mean, when I went to college, it was.
Where did you go?
I went to the University of California at Santa Barbara.
Oh wow! It's got to be it's not very woke.
It was just a lot of like parties.
So you didn't study very much.
No, not really.
Okay. What did you study?
Psychology.
That's a real science, kinda, right? Sorry. I love Dr. Peters. I mean, that's a real science.
From white
Take
people.
that, Dr. Peterson. You see that? I studied a bullshit science, okay?
Oh my God, no. Psychology is certain degrees of real science and certain degrees are too made up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. No.
Yeah.
But psychology, I think, was very helpful for, it's not science in terms of like math, but it's very helpful in terms of like understanding maybe why I behave a certain way, why other people behave a certain way, and that allows you to operate in the world, gives you an advantage with that, like sometimes somebody's mean to you and it has nothing to do with you, it's what they're going through.
Right, exactly.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So why did we get into that? Oh yeah, I didn't feel like there was this like Marxist ideology, but then again, I went to college fucking so long ago that maybe it's changed. Clearly, I think there is like some, I guess there is how would people say it? Like an issue with wokeness.
Yeah.
But I also feel like sometimes that is, how like the right and the left in America need enemies so that they have something to talk about every day. So I feel like they just select their enemies.
Right, that's
And they
so
find the
stupid. I
most
mean, China is the enemy. Why would you fighting against each other?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
stupid, yeah.
Yeah.
I really don't understand why they do that.
Well, why do you think? Maybe it's easier if we fight wokeness than fight China, because we know we're not going to do anything about China. We know we want to get our fucking clothing made. You know, we want our furniture. We want our cheap stuff to buy on Amazon. So we're not going to really do anything about China. So why even bother to talk about it? You know, they got the spy balloons going all over the place. What are we going to do? Are we going to bomb them? If we're not going to bomb them, then maybe there's no reason to complain.
Yeah. China's much more dangerous than wokeness.
That's true, but then woke ideology is keep shielding this Chinese threat. I think that's what is hard. Like
They're shielding
woke,
it, you're
they're
saying?
distracting us.
Yes.
The real enemy is not white men. The real enemy is not capitalism.
Yes.
The real enemy is dictatorships. That is Marxist, like totalitarian ideology.
Yeah.
That is really a danger to humanity.
Yes.
But the woke ideology keep distracting us to make us to believe that somehow that American Constitution is a racist.
Right.
That free market is a problem. The capitalism is a problem.
Yes.
I mean, the professor at Columbia say all the problems that we have, the only solution to that is a communist revolution.
Your professor at Columbia said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these people go run, work for Twitter, Facebook,
Yeah.
all the banks and big institutions, they become president, like Obama went to Colombia, right?
Yeah.
Like, they get brainwashed this way, and then how do we trust people to make the right decision? But they get certain biases that is so dangerous.
And you're saying that those biases that they'll develop and learn will then infiltrate our overall ideology. That's your concern.
Has been.
You think
My
it has?
son's daycare sent me a message saying that
He's binary?
None.
I don't know, but they said they do such a good job teaching him about equity, equality outcomes. That's like
yeah,
lots
yeah.
of bullshit. Like that's
Yeah, yeah.
there's no equality outcomes.
Yeah,
you and
yeah.
I can never be the same when we work for the same thing, right? Like
Yeah.
we're different.
Yeah, yeah.
But they teaching these young kids who's 2 years or 3 years old, little toddlers.
Yeah.
They teach them about Marxist ideology.
Yeah, it sounds extreme when it's put like that because I don't think anybody's teaching a kid Marxism and they're like, hey, let's talk about Marx. But they're teaching things that exist and are promoted within Marxism. Like I have a friend of mine who his kid, he gave like 2 pieces of candy to one of his daughter and then gave 1 to his son. And then the kid goes, wait, what's going on? I want my other piece. And he goes, why? He goes, because it should be fair and equal. Everything needs to be fair and equal. And fair and equal is a good principle to teach children.
Yeah.
But the idea that they felt like they could demand it and it was their right to have
Entitlement. They
The
teach
entitlement.
entitlement.
Sure.
Yeah, you deserve free healthcare. You deserve free education.
Yeah.
You deserve free housing.
Yeah.
Like universal income,
Yeah.
right? In
Well,
North Korea,
yeah.
they promised everything free and nothing became free. They did not give us anything. So in America, this young kid's like, healthcare is a human rights. We should make it free.
So you're saying these are all good ideas, but you've seen them actually put into practice and it never lives up to the idea.
Why should somebody become a doctor and not getting paid and cure you for free?
Well, maybe they love curing.
But then they need to feed their family and themselves. Like, why they should do anything for free? Like, how can anything be free in the world? Right? Like, trees don't, do we get that cup for free? Like, how do we make that for free?
You did this podcast for free?
That's right, but I'm trying to sell the books. I don't like the bullshit.
God
right?
bless capitalism.
Absolutely, I'm trying to sell the books, but also I try to wake up people's minds so I don't. Okay, if America goes down, the only option left for me to escape to the moon with Elon Musk.
Yeah.
But he does not know me,
Yeah.
so I don't think I'm
And the
gonna be
moon
there.
is going to be strict. Mars is going to be strict. That's going to be
Really?
totalitarian. There's not going to allow you
Yeah,
to
the
have
first
freedom.
generation, they have to build a nation. They have no time to
Yeah.
be like woke.
But can you imagine how strict it would be up there? It's not even woke. It's like
I've
if,
been into North Korea. I can imagine it.
it would literally be North Korea.
Yeah, of course.
It would be North Korea, but with food, because you can't go outside.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. You can't leave. You do not want to go to Mars. What I'm trying to say is, you do not want to go to Mars.
Especially
Yeah.
Because
protecting
everybody
America.
is dependent on everyone else. If you just leave the door open, everybody dies.
That's
Oh,
why
my
I'm fighting
Lord.
for America.
You need to fight for
I
America.
don't want imagine the world without America.
I
don't
would
think,
never want to be in it.
Yeah. I
The
want
best.
this country to be in it. This is a beacon of hope for entire humanity.
But do you really think that? I think a lot of times what happens is like, we see this with children.
Yeah.
And when we see this with like teens, we see it with kids in their 20s. And then the second they get responsibility, they literally convert immediately. I've seen my friends who are lifelong liberals, like their entire lives. I've known them their entire lives.
Yeah.
Liberals, their wives, liberals. This happened a couple weeks ago. My friend's kid came home from school and said that he was gender fluid.
Yeah.
The kid is 5 years old. My kid,
How do you even know the term gender fluid?
my friend was like, we're putting him in Catholic school.
Right. We are doing that.
Immediately.
Yeah, we are sending him to
Immediately Catholic school.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, that is, to me, the free market deciding.
Yeah.
So you also have to have faith in the free market.
Absolutely, I do.
So the free market is going to go, the parents are going to start going, whoa, what are you teaching my kids? I'm taking my kids out of the school. Then the schools are going to start to go, what the fuck is going on here? Why does nobody want to be here? Oh, maybe because we're teaching children things that they don't need to know at 5 years old. Right?
Yeah.
So if we do have that total faith in the free market, it should be applied to education, should be applied to ideology. You know what I mean? Like, if we really want freedom, we got to let people get the information. We have to let people have Marxist information.
Absolutely, they should be Marxist. I mean, I love them. That's the thing. The reason why I want the capitalism, in capitalism, Marxists thrive. Like you look at AOC and Bernie Sanders. But in socialism, capitalists get executed.
So you're saying there's much less tolerance.
So I want to be in a country where we all can coexist and keep debating which idea is better and finding the truth.
That's the thing, is because if you have confidence in capitalism, which I do,
Exactly.
it's going to win.
I'm not that insecure. Like the Marxists are so insecure, they cannot tolerate people who are conservative and free market, right? Because like if you're so secure about your ideology, why are you not like afraid? And like why forcing us to think the way you do?
And why do you think that is?
Because like communism is about passion. It's not about like logic. You know, passionately you think there should be utopia where everybody's equal, nobody's suffering. Like we all in a shalala land, right?
Yeah.
But
in the what?
yeah,
La La
in
Land.
the
Oh,
La La Land, like where like just nobody's sick.
Yeah.
He's the best. But so I think it's a passionate like ideology. You gotta believe in it.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't teach you any tolerance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You cannot coexist with capitalism.
Yeah, it is almost a beautiful thing to commit yourself to, which is this idea that we're going to help everyone and everybody's going to get an even amount and there aren't going to be people that are oppressed or taken advantage of. I have a lot of empathy for someone who believes that they can make that a reality, 100%. So far...
That's dangerous. That's how they pave the road to hell. That's what China did.
With good intentions,
The Union did, North Korea did.
Yeah.
Very bad, very dangerous.
Yeah.
When you have good intentions and not being very stupid.
Yeah. But you're saying that there's a certain amount of realism that we need to inject.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what's lost in the discourse now, is that we haven't been as realistic. And maybe we're too far away from, you know, the perils of humanity. Maybe we're too cushioned from the perils of humanity in America, where we don't even see it as a potential threat.
I mean, the same thing happens with Cubans that come from Cuba.
Yeah.
Is that when they go to Miami, all of a sudden they're much more conservative because a lot of people suggest that they lived through a socialist regime.
Yeah.
And so when they come to America, they're much more concerned about something like that happening.
You actually
Same.
said something like this kind of on your Rogan, which is really interesting. You said, if you think you are oppressed, you're not oppressed, because if you're truly oppressed, you don't even know what that word is.
Yeah.
That word doesn't even exist
You
to
don't know
you.
the concept.
And I think times are so comfortable and amazing in America relative to history that we are looking for all these things, because now that we have all of our basic needs met, we notice these things. So they seem like huge deals because most of us haven't had to worry about food, shelter, clothing, etc. So now we start looking at these other things because we still don't feel whole.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where Christianity and God comes in, maybe. But
As a mother, I know you said you're grateful that you were born in North Korea so you can appreciate everything that you have now.
Yeah.
You have perspective on it.
Yeah.
As a mother, I can't fathom that you want your kid to understand that type of appreciation. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
The question makes sense?
like, I wouldn't want him to go through the same thing that I did.
Yeah, you're like,
obviously.
fuck perspective.
But no,
You know?
but humans are unique, that we have a capability to understand that is abstract. Of course, like understanding what I went through in North Korea is going to be abstract to you.
Yes.
You've never seen it in fact.
Yes.
But we are capable of that. That's
Yes.
why we have a high intelligence.
Yes.
So my responsibility as a parent is teaching next generation what I know about the world.
Right.
If we do that good, then what we know about the world, they understand from us, then they find the more things.
Got you.
So that's like how I see my response, telling him, not like letting him go through the same hardship and starve him every day, and
Right.
punish him.
Yeah.
But
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm like, of
Yeah.
course not. But like, I think he can understand that. I think that's why I believe in humanity. Like, I can teach these people that what the actual communism looks like.
This might be getting too philosophical, but the issue becomes every generation that grows up better becomes less passionate about that thing.
Yeah.
Your son will have an easier life, so he won't be as passionate with your grandson, granddaughter,
Yeah.
about, or grand non-binary, about how life is good, you need to have perspective, et cetera. And then the next generation will be that much less passionate, and so it goes. And that's actually a sign of success.
Yeah. No, because so that's not that progress is not something automatically happens. You need to fight for it. You know, America didn't build out of thin air. People died for this country. People invented stuff. They did not sleep and work hard, like so hard. So somehow you think if you just sit here being comfortable and smoking weed and all day and just watching Netflix and somehow we're gonna get better as the time passes. No, we can completely go backwards.
Yeah.
Like I was watching the movie Idiocracy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is somehow why it's ringing some bells to me, you know?
Yeah.
So it can be truly real thing.
Yeah.
North Korea did so well in the 60s, 70s, and then they went backwards. And now there's cannibalism.
They're eating each other.
Yeah.
That desperate, yeah.
Wow. Why are people still having children there?
Governments requires you to.
I
We don't
thought
have
that
it-
might be
because
something.
they need more slaves to make us to build the nuclear weapons and do the things for them.
So, and how do they make that happen?
So marriage assignment, they assign marriage for you.
Interesting.
Job assignment, so you cannot determine anything about your life. You don't even decide what haircut you have.
There's
or
only two haircuts, right?
Yeah, Kim Jong-un
seen two.
decided his haircut is gonna be the universal haircut for North Korean men.
But I thought you said they starve the population so that way the population decreases and it's less people to control. So why would they also encourage them to have more kids?
Because they, among the lower, in North Korea, the same people, same genetics, look the same, but they divide us into 51 different classes.
51?
Yeah. That's what you do when you fight for equity. They divide to 51 different classes based on your royalty. It's like in America, if your ancestors owned the slave, now you're guilty, right? You are your genetics are like retarded. In North Korea, if you, like white people, can you ever redeem your sin? You can't. You should be always
tainted.
tainted.
Yeah, tainted. Yeah.
And North Korea, because my grandparents had a land, they said he was a landowner, my blood is tainted. My genetics is oppressive to other people.
Oh, but they actually use that terminology, like you had a
Blood is
genetic.
tainted.
She's saying
Yeah,
prior to the regime.
Right.
Yeah.
There were landowners in it. Yeah. So you're like the slave owner.
Oh, that's where your empathy for
Not
white
have
men
a
comes
slave
in.
because he had a tiny land.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
comparing it to
Oh,
like
right,
America.
in America,
yeah,
it's like that.
exactly.
So based on your America's skin color, seems like you dividing who's oppressed.
Yep.
North Korea is based on the royalty, like were you a landowner, were you a capitalist.
Yeah.
Based on that, they divide your class into 51 different classes.
Yeah, but why would they promote
Among
people
the
to
top
have?
class, they do.
Oh, among
Because they
the
are
top.
royal.
Gotcha.
They need the people
And what about
to
the
serve.
poor people?
Poor
Why are
people-
poor people bringing more? And this is not just a North Korean situation. Maybe this is just human instinct. It's just what we need to do. But you see this around the world. You see the people that are living in these like dire situations and they're still procreating.
It's such a sad story. Like later, I was grown up. My mom told me, in concentration camps or like prison camps, they would rather die from starvation than not having sex. So I think that's a very human urge. Like they
Wow.
literally say,
They'd rather die from starvation
Some
than
of them
not
do.
have sex.
I think sex is a part of being human. I don't think that's something we should be ashamed of.
Yeah.
And I think I heard that in that dire situation where people are having just like lice everywhere and dying from starvation, they say, I'm gonna give you my dinner. Would you like,
Oh, so
would you
they're
let me do it to
trading
you?
food for sex
Yeah.
in the
In
camps.
the prison camp.
Holy shit.
They're not gays. I mean, that's the only thing available for them. So,
Oh, they're having sex with men's butts.
yeah. And I think, so even the poor class in the bottom, I think they still get married and have kids.
Jesus.
I know. But most of women still like under there, they don't even get periods because of malnutrition.
That is common.
Yeah, they don't get periods.
Yeah, you
a
have to
lot.
have a certain amount of body fat in order
have
to have a
periods.
menstrual cycle, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, so men are paying each other.
Food. They don't
Food.
have money. Yeah, they give their dinner.
Oh
Why they're dying from starvation?
Fuck. I mean, they're dying for starvation.
Yeah.
I'm like blown away by this.
Maybe that's their death wish. Like
Is
maybe
to
they know.
fuck butts before they die.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You should be so grateful you never have to do that.
I know,
Yeah.
because in America, they're doing it while they get food anyway.
Yeah.
That
Actually,
puts
the
things
rich-
into
Also, their
perspective.
preference too is like they're gay, but like these people, preference is obviously women a lot of times, most of them.
Oh my goodness.
I never seen a gay in North
Korea.
In my life, yeah, never. We never heard about it.
It's not even discussed.
No, it's not a concept.
So in order to be gay, you first need to be full, right? You need to be like, you can't be gay if you're hungry.
Maslow's hierarchy of
Why?
needs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why can you not be gay if you're hungry?
No, I'm saying like according to what's going on, like the people are so starving that they can't even think about dicks. They're just thinking about food.
Yeah, but I think men still do. So in the military, mandatory military service force, both the men like officers are constantly rape women soldiers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then if women get pregnant, then they get punished, not the officer. Mhm.
Oh, wow.
There's no Me Too in North. There's no women's rights.
There's no Me Too.
There's no such a concept called the sexual harassment.
Oh my
We don't know that's a
Lord.
bad thing. That's how bad communism is.
Oh.
They don't have human rights, so there's no such a thing called a rape in North Korea.
Oh my God. Do you think that they would respect the movement more if they called it like the Kim Me Too movement or something?
I mean, YouTube would demonetize my videos.
No way.
I talk about the North Korean soldiers getting raped by the officers in the military in North Korea. It's very documented by the
This
UN.
is nuts.
Yeah.
And that YouTube is demonetizing
I
it?
think and I asked them also, North Korean women get raped in China under the Communist Party. And then I asked YouTube, like Google, right? Like I asked them, like, what do you not support the Me Too of the women? Like, why would you demonetize
Maybe
these
it's
videos?
the topic itself is.
No, they
is
said
very-
it just does not meet our guidelines. That's what they respond.
Wow.
Somehow, whatever the guidelines they have, they only want to go after the people who were raped by Harvey Weinstein as a kid. That's the support you only get.
And we should also go after them.
But that is a funny thing in my book. I was flew by Jeff Bezos to go to
Yes.
this campfire event.
Burning Man?
No, it's a private home campfire.
Oh.
And where he flew me with Harvey Weinstein.
You flew with
What?
Harvey
The
Weinstein?
private in the Gulf Stream, yeah.
How was he?
Charming guy. He
Really?
was with his wife, Georgina, and he had 2 kids and their nannies. And we flew from near New York in the private airport. We went to Jeff's event. And then in that private event, of course, he gave a speech how he came from the Flushing, Queens, how he's been fighting for the minority people. And then everybody was standing up there giving him standing ovation. And so one of the women who was claiming to be raped by him later.
Was there.
Yeah, and then of course he was the man. The people called him the man. And then I asked him after the Me Too comes out, did you know that he was raping women? Like, yeah, of course we all knew. Did you not know?
Wow.
Did he offer you any movie roles?
No, he was trying to set me up with DiCaprio to meet up because I talked about from Jeff Bezos how watching Titanic changed my life, showed me the sign of humanity. It's like Jeff was like, hey, like Harvey, why don't you hook up Yeonmi with DiCaprio? So, and then like Leo, he called him Leo, obviously.
Of course, Leo. Yeah.
And then Leo's office reached out email. We wanted to meet. He was here for the UN event. I was out, so we couldn't really meet.
How old were you at the time?
Yeah,
when
you
this
might have
happened?
been.
I was 21,
Oh, that's in the range.
Yeah, you're in
That's
the
in the range.
Yeah.
You know, Leo doesn't go.
below 25.
You know.
I know, my heart was broke.
Yeah. But it will go on.
You were gone, yeah.
Now, do you think that Leonardo DiCaprio could have fit on the door with Claire Danes at the end of the Titanic?
Claire Danes.
Was it Claire Danes? What's her name?
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I mean,
Even
was,
he can't
White women.
recognize
They look.
whites.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
No. Do you think they could have both fit on the door together?
Yeah, absolutely, or they should have tried.
They should have at least tried it.
Tried it.
That sounds a little communist of you, to be honest.
Really?
Everybody should live equally. Yeah.
I mean, this is, to be honest.
No, just because he's just so cute in the movie. I was just like
was cute.
teenager girl, you know. I loved it.
He's a heartthrob.
Yeah, not now. Oh my God, no, thank you. But
Wait a minute. Wait, why are you not into it? What are you not into?
I mean, no, it's like
Who's the hottest guy in the world?
In the world?
In the whole world, outside of your fiance, who's the hottest guy? Like the #1 dude.
Used to be my type was Kim Jong-un. Not the personality, not the body type, you know? Because in North Korea, that's a sign of power. And it's
to
very,
be thick.
Yeah, because everybody's starving like me so small.
So if you're fat, that means you got
I'm
money.
bored. Because nobody lived long enough to get bored.
So if you're old and fat,
Bored and fat, so you are very, very sexy.
Harvey Weinstein.
Exactly.
Hey.
So I used to love so my fiance is not the most fit man either. So
Yeah, but that's what you like. That's good. That means that he's successful.
I'm kind of switching though. I like slightly more getting into fitness. So maybe I'm becoming more American.
Okay, Harry Styles. You like Harry
Oh
Styles?
no, too gay.
I agree. Okay. Keep on going. Okay, who else?
God.
Who is
George
outside of
Clooney.
fiance? The #1 man.
George Clooney.
George Clooney.
No, thank you.
No?
It's too,
Wow.
yeah.
You
I
too
like
what?
people like Joe Rogan, like works hard.
Yeah, Rogan's a hottie.
Gentleman. Yeah.
Okay, so
Don't
Joe
tell
Rogan.
him that.
I'm not going to tell him at all. Not going to
The
tell him.
Rock?
Who's Rock?
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne The
actor?
Rock Johnson.
Oh, you don't know?
I thought Obama was very handsome when he was younger. No?
Yeah.
He was
Handsome,
very
handsome
good
guy,
looking
yeah.
man.
Hot.
Oh, what about
Yeah.
this guy right here?
What about that guy? Yeah, that's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
How tall is it?
He's tall.
Yeah.
He's like
Climb that.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can max handle Joe Rogan height.
Joe Rogan getting 2 shout-outs.
So I cannot go above like 6 maximum.
6 feet is your top.
Yeah, those tall guys, they're all ugly.
Maybe
man.
if I'm on the high heels, then like I can go for 6'2".
6'2".
Max.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Okay.
but like
What about Brad Pitt? Like people like Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt is handsome.
You into Brad Pitt?
Is
Not really.
it?
Actor?
What about Will Smith?
oh yeah, he's very he's very very.
Yeah, sucks.
He's good.
yeah, Keanu.
Oh, Keanu.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
What do you think about Keanu?
I don't know. He has a long hair. I'm just not into long hair.
You're not into
In
it.
North Korea, we never seen a man with a long hair. Like they need to get 2 to 3 inches. It's mandatory for the government.
What is 2 to 3 inches there?
hair like
the hair.
maximum?
Yeah.
Okay, now
guys trying
with
to
the
say, bro?
Yeah, how do you feel about like man buns? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
when
What
they
is
put the when they
that?
tie their
This
hands.
is a Korean style.
Is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. It's known.
It's South Korean, not North Korean. They're different.
You don't like the man bun?
Yeah, no man bun, no long hair, not too tall,
Not too tall. Not like 6'4". Like
not too much with the 6'4".
Yeah.
No, it's basketball players too much.
Yeah, I'm friends with the Enes Kanter.
Oh yes.
Rhythm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm like coming to under his armpit. He's so
know, I
tall.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. How is Ennis? Oh, what? Okay, Jared Leto, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that haircut is good.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Johnny, come on, right?
Johnny Depp?
Oh, Bradley Cooper. What about Bradley Cooper?
Yeah. I mean, he's the ideal. Vanilla.
Vanilla.
All my girlfriends.
Okay, Bradley.
You got to connect. I'm sure you know someone that can get in touch with him,
Listen,
right?
can I can. You want me to set up a dinner?
Just as a friend.
Just a friend dinner. Just a friend
no,
dinner.
It's okay, I get too shy. I'm
Okay.
gonna embarrass you.
Who would you want to play you in a movie about your life?
I don't know the actresses that much. I don't like watch that much TV. I'm more like big book person, so I don't know a lot of like
Who would you want to write your story?
write my story.
Yeah.
Whoever's good.
R.L. Stein?
Oh, that'd be fire.
What's that?
Goosebumps?
Yeah, he wrote like horror books for kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a low budget, no? The horror movies have a lower budget, no?
They do. They have a little bit lower budget,
So more
but it doesn't have to be horror. We could make it something else.
Exactly, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's drama
They tried to make a movie about my book.
about your
And-
book. Yeah.
Yeah, the first book, and then they sent me the writing of the book. I mean, the movie,
And
and then like literally writing the screenplay saying, when I was in China, that was my promised land. Yeah, the Chinese government protecting me and then helping me, giving me refugee. So I was calling up the producer like,
what the fuck
yeah,
is this?
is not what happened. It's like this is the only way we can make a movie about North Korea in Hollywood today.
Oh
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, no,
God.
thank you. You don't need to make a movie. It's like, I'm good. So I got put out the dinner.
because Hollywood has
has interests in China. They want China
Money.
to go
Yeah.
to the movie
They are
theaters.
also they are utterly woke. So
Yeah, they're very woke.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I'm fighting. Like, we think that we have a lot of freedom, like a lot of things we are watching. Certain ideology is like controlling all these institutions. And it's really sad. Like, you have no problem making movies about all other like genocide, you know? The Hotel Rwanda is fine, but somehow North Korean issue, they cannot do that.
Did you see the Hotel Rwanda? Did you guys see Hotel
Yeah.
Rwanda? How was it?
Very good movie, yeah.
It was a really good movie.
Very powerful movie, yeah.
So you want a version of that because movies can get a message out to people that would never consume your message.
Because most people
reality.
don't read books.
They just want story.
Yeah.
And we attach ourselves to these stories,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So maybe the movie is the way.
Yeah, if somebody has the, courage to stand up against CCP, they could. But I think everybody's afraid here.
Everybody is terrified of the
Yeah, I've been
CCP.
doing this for the last 7 years, begging people to do something. They say that silence is violence. When it comes to gay rights, LGBTQ rights, BLM, everything they're fine. But
You got
not
all the
when it comes
sayings
to
down,
CCP.
yo.
You got all the sayings down, boy.
Drills the slogans into you.
They really do.
Of course.
Really?
I mean, they're chanting every day in the middle of the library. They go chanting this stuff and
Yeah.
strikes every day. It's horrible.
Really? So you didn't like Colombia?
I barely survived it. I mean, it was very oppressive.
It was
I know, it was very bad.
Barely survived Yeonmi.
It was very bad. It was very bad. I mean, because it was exactly things that I was living in North Korean classroom. They were teaching
Rank
me.
most oppressive lives. Lives
What
you've
is
had.
more
What's the
oppressive,
most
North
oppressive?
Korea or going to the University of Columbia?
Oh, of course not. There's
Okay, what about China or Colombia?
Still North Korea.
You would
No,
say,
not North Korea is most.
No,
What's
that's
second,
number one.
China or Columbia University? University of
Of
Columbia.
course, China. I mean, yeah.
Did I call it the University of
University
Columbia?
of Columbia.
Yeah. No, I think what's
Also that university. Did you ever
Colombia
go there?
doesn't oppress you physically.
Yeah.
They try to control you what you think. They teach you what you think.
Yeah.
So as somebody curious intellectually, it's so oppressive.
Yeah.
But not physically, you know.
Yeah. That is a good
interesting.
point. So those other places, they weren't, well, I guess then, no, North Korea was intellectually oppressing you as well.
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's saying they did both.
In China, there was just, you weren't even treated as a first, what's it called?
I was getting raped.
Yeah,
so
you were.
I was
yeah.
a kid. Yeah.
Ugh, that fucking hits when you say that to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like that. That is good.
You should have trigger warned him. When
Yeah. I need a
Exactly.
trigger
Yeah,
warning
this
for
is a
you
safe
saying
space,
that.
Yeonmi. You're not allowed to share these things.
Because we're
okay?
used to saying like jokes that involve that, but when it's real, that is just fucking
different thing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So in researching your
That's
story,
funny.
I know that there are some people that are detractors that try to discredit you
Yeah.
and have tried to discredit your story and say
Yeah.
that there's inaccuracies or that you may be fabricating or lying about complete
Totally.
events. Is that
Yeah.
frustrating, and where do you think that comes from?
I mean, they say that Elon Musk is an alien, so people are really dumb.
He is an alien.
Right.
And like,
He's trying to go home.
Though some people that did have a legit thing before my first book comes out, I was living in South Korea, and South Korea is a very conservative like India. If that I said I was raped for 2 years, I was a sex slave, no normal man, no normal mother-in-law gonna take me as a woman and then have a child with me. And as you know, I want to have a child, like I want to have a family.
Yeah.
So I had to hide about the fact that I was raped in China and be trafficked. But then I had to write all that in the book. But other accusations was very stupid. So my English was very bad. I would look up the word like pool is like a plants. But then they would give the word grass. So I ate the plants, I never ate grass. When they went to Google Earth, look up my path of escape,
Yeah,
they
the
checked
mountain, the
altitude.
hill, yeah,
the
yeah.
altitude is apparently here is not a mountain.
Yeah.
That is like, and then sometimes my English is not perfect.
Yeah.
So as you fix me,
Yeah.
you correct me a few times.
Yeah.
I just say the few words wrong.
I also think it's like a knee-jerk reaction. Like I remember being skeptical of you, and I think this is when I first heard it on Rogan, and I think it came from a place where I didn't want to believe those things were real. So my way of handling that information was,
Deny it.
well, it's got to be a lie, because I don't want to live in a world where this is happening,
Right.
and I'm not going to do anything about it. Now I have to handle that. I have to settle that emotional debt,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I think it is.
But there's also
Yeah.
a main group that discrediting my story is the people who follow the Maoist, Leninist, Marxist, and democratic socialism. Is that North Korea is the only country that is the enemy of America, officially. right? So a lot of people hate America.
Yeah.
Therefore, they love North Korea. And then they still want the socialism to succeed,
Yeah.
right? So then North Korea is the only country that holds the ideology officially, the socialist paradise. So they just hate that I keep coming out and discrediting socialism.
Right. And again, they're just
And China, obviously, oh my God, they hate that. Like, I demonize China. And then, of course, I speak out against the American mainstream media,
Right.
Hollywood.
and
I
now-
made so
yeah.
many enemies, oh my gosh.
Yeah, why do you want all these enemies? Is it worth the juice is worth the squeeze? Is that's the expression we would use? Meaning your goal is to get eyeballs and attention on North Korea. Therefore it's worth you going through this chaos now?
It,
Because you could easily just not say anything.
yeah.
You
And
could
that's
get a
what
job
most-
working in finance.
Most North Koreans do that
And
when
I
they
went to
escape.
Colombia, I could
Yeah.
get a corporate job.
Yeah.
I think I
Like,
didn't
yeah.
understand like how many people were like this twisted and were that out of touch from reality, you know. And also somehow being cynical is a sign of intelligence, right? They just want to question for you
That's
to
good.
follow nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
Literally,
yeah,
you don't need to really question everything.
Yeah.
Some things are true, like really,
Yeah.
and they just want to show off. You know,
Yeah.
I can think, therefore I can question you.
Yeah.
Right. So the cynicism
Yeah.
is like such a hot thing in America.
Yeah. Do you ever get angry at these people?
Oh, I laugh. So stupid.
Really?
Yeah, they're so stupid. And I feel bad for them. Like at Colombia one day, Justin, but gender fluid day,
Oh.
comes up and they looked physically male.
Yeah.
Short hair, everything male, biologically male.
Yeah.
So I did not know the difference. So I called him, like, hey, Justin, like,
Yeah.
he said this. And then they came up in tears. How I made them like, insecure, like threatened, emotional.
Could you just say that I'm still working on my English?
I tried to explain, but he just in tears could not console himself. And I was thinking,
Could you tell
Oh
me he has
my
to do
God.
a better job with his makeup?
or maybe do a lot more than makeup. I mean, they needed a lot of work to be
Like what?
unicorn. I mean, they go for unicorn, right? They're not even woman or man, so they want to be a unicorn.
Yo, they is the hardest thing to predict
It's-
because you can't predict that someone wants to be both.
Yeah.
Or
You
neither.
can predict male or female.
Yeah,
if you
and it's
present as female,
with a wig on, makeup on, I can say she,
Yeah.
see all of it, but then they,
you can never be upset if someone doesn't get they right. Because unless they
but
go,
they
I'm
do,
a they,
they do upset.
they do get
yeah,
upset.
Yeah, they
but
do.
realistically, the chances, that's a roll of the dice guess. There's no way to dress. You could dress like a woman or dress like a man. There's no they. Right? Am I missing something?
They
Besides you?
So yeah, they can get mad after you, if they correct you, and then you're
That's
still
what I'm saying.
that's
That's
an-
the first time.
Oh, God.
The first time on a they,
Yeah.
they gotta give you
But I
that.
meet hundreds of people every month. How am I gonna miss
Okay, Yeonmi.
too, right?
That Bumble account is killing it, huh?
Exactly. But how would you expect somebody to, because I said you once to you,
Yeah.
how entitled are you? What are you, like self-righteous people?
Yeah.
I don't expect them to be, they call me Yummy. I don't fix them. Like, so call me something. You
What
just
is it?
call
YP? You
they
go
call
by
me,
YP?
They call me my name's Yeonmi.
Yeonmi.
But a lot of people call me Yummy, whatever it is.
But for white people,
Yummy.
it feels a little bit racist to pronounce your name in an Asian accent.
Interesting.
Do you know, like you could say, if I was like, if someone's named Carlos and you're like, Carlos, that doesn't feel as racist. But if I was to go,
You would have gone.
Yeonmi,
Yeah.
Park,
Yeonmi Park.
Yeonmi
Park.
Pak.
Yeah.
Yeonmi Pak.
Yeah.
I would feel like I'm like mocking your, even though it's fun.
What
Yeonmi
makes
Pak.
you feel happy? I mean, I don't-
Yeonmi Pak.
yeah, just call me anything. I'm fine.
Okay.
But like calling you something wrong shouldn't be the end of the world. That shouldn't be the like for their oppression is that.
And you're the perfect antidote for that in a lot of ways, right? Because
I'm not
they,
active. For them, it's like I am brainwashed the puppet.
of course. But I guess what I'm saying is like they can't complain about their privilege or their lack of privilege. They can't complain about their struggle if you're around, because
They
you have
do.
the ultimate struggle.
But they do.
Well, that's absurd. And I think that like that's why I'm concerned about people potentially using you, because that juxtaposition between somebody complaining about not being called they and you not complaining at all, despite what you've been through, you could really expose those people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I was like some billionaire, like super rich libertarian motherfucker or whatever, I would be like, yo, I need that girl. Get her over here. Let's pay her fucking tons of money, or make sure she's cushy and make sure she's comfortable. She's smart, she's well-spoken, and she could expose all this ideology that I don't necessarily agree with. Do you see? I would do that. I just don't have enough money.
Give me the card.
I know. I need to make more money so that we can get it going.
Exactly. Let's figure out
We
who's
need-
gonna be the one.
Let's get a list.
They keep saying the black money and the like how the.
Hey.
Black money.
No.
What is that,
There's
some
a
kind of
book-
myth?
There's a book about it.
that a
like
record
about
label?
how this like a
Black money.
Koch brothers.
Is that called layaway?
I don't know. Some very American core like wealthy people
Thought it
are
was good.
funding these ideologies and
Yeah.
funding these groups. Like, where are they? Why
Well,
are
there are
they
certain
not
groups that
calling?
do, right? On both sides.
Connect me to them. I mean, like, I don't know where they are.
Right.
But that's what they accuse me. I'm somehow funded by some libertarian group. I'm like, where are they?
Yeah.
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 It's just very interesting.
Yeah. I don't know where they are.
I think they should
But
find
they
out.
should present themselves.
Yeah, by now they
Immediately.
should show up.
Because you have the best story to thwart any...
It's really hard to argue with your story.
Yeah. And your perspective on it, too. Right?
I don't know. This is all I know. So I don't know how this is different to Americans.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything that you like about the left?
The left.
Or leftism, or woke ideology? Is there anything that you like? Like, you've experienced discrimination even in South Korea,
Yeah.
right? As a North Korean.
Yeah.
Perhaps do you like the fact that the left might be more accepting of people from different backgrounds? Maybe not different ideological backgrounds, but visual, like you coming from another country wouldn't be an immediate thing that we would ostracize you for, the left would ostracize you for.
Americans in general are very accepting of different backgrounds. Even
Right,
conservatives
though?
are the same.
Come on, Al.
No,
No? Okay,
not
okay.
all areas.
I guess so, because when I came to America, I went to Tyler, Texas, and then we went through Georgia, Atlanta, through Arkansas. We did a like Bible mission group. So I saw the deep, deep, deep South. We knocked on doors, cleaned their like
Did they
garbage.
think you were delivering something?
No, we asked them, would you have a trash to out? We can help you to do that. We would go to community service and read the books to children. Like we would go pray for them and give in the homeless shelter. We make the breakfast and feed them in the morning. So I did that work in the South. And I went to homeless shelter. They were very funny. They were all like a lot of black men, and they were very curious about where I coming from.
But I'll just let you know, there are still many places in America that are not so understanding and open to all types of people.
Okay,
Like there are
okay.
places I can go where I'll get called a word.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Japan, South Korea, they don't even allow the foreigners into their restaurant. There are literally signs, foreigners are not allowed. Have you been to Japan and Korea?
Not Korea, but Japan, yeah.
Yeah, they have literally restaurants, public business, don't allow you to eat there. So like for me, like I compare the racism to that.
Gotcha.
So it's like American racism, like almost joke, right? Like there's like no restaurant I have been that you are not, Asians not allowed. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
In Japan, South Korea, clearly.
Yeah.
From foreigners are not allowed in this
Yeah.
bar, in the
like
restaurant.
white people aren't allowed to black people cookouts. We just don't allow them to
Yep.
come unless they check out. If they're allies, they check out.
Yeah. Black people are talking about this whole cookout they're gonna have.
They think that we want to go to this cookout so bad.
Yeah.
They love
They think we
this
can't wait
cookout.
to go to the public barbecue and then cook on the public
I'd like to
grills.
go.
Exactly.
I'd like to go.
Yeah, you would.
I'd like to at
love
least know
good
I'm
food.
invited.
Alex, how many
I'm invited to be
cookouts have you been growing up in New York? We didn't have fucking cookouts.
Oh, yes, we did.
Where?
Yes, we did all the time. We would
Where?
go to the park.
You
and
wouldn't
have
know, you weren't
cookouts
invited,
all the
bro.
time. Like all the
Oh,
time.
you weren't invited.
Yeah.
I wasn't
I'm
invited to
telling
the
you,
cookout.
all the time.
There's
It's
a
a regular
term in
thing.
America when a non-black person is doing something that black people appreciate or respect. They'll go, he's invited to the cookout, which basically means you're cool.
You're cool.
You're down. Like I don't know what that term would be for in Korea. What is that term?
Well, they have Korean barbecue.
They have Korean barbecue.
Yeah, so you
but
can be invited.
anybody's allowed to go to the Korean
You can invite
barbecue.
him in the hot pot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly.
Yeah. So I guess it's just a term of endearment. It's our way of basically saying you're a good guy, you're cool, you're not one of the bad guys.
Oh, see, so much I need to learn about this. The race thing is very unique to America.
Very unique.
So not amount of history books taught me this.
Yeah.
So
No, it
maybe
is-
like a real life gonna teach me about this.
Yeah, there is a specific racial dynamic that exists in America that doesn't exist in a lot of other places
Yeah, I know.
because a lot of the black people that are here are descendants of people that did not want to come.
Right.
It's very different when you go to a country that is racist. You're opting in.
Yeah, you chose to voluntarily go. Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So whereas there are people who are here that are experiencing racism that were like, my family never wanted to be here and I got to put up with this shit.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like they came for opportunity. Like, for example, Akash's family came here,
Yeah.
right? And he might have had to deal with some racism, but that's what they signed up for.
So-
they moved to, no, they didn't sign up for it.
Yeah.
It's
The good
illegal to
outweighs
be
the bad.
racist.
Right.
But they knew that going into it, there might be some situations that are wrong. Now, it's against the law. You
Yeah.
can't discriminate against people, but they might go through some stuff that are going to be
To
uncomfortable.
be fair, I don't know that my generation knew, but they were like, whatever, we chose to come here. They didn't have that option. A lot of black
I know.
people.
So that's why the dynamic racially is a little different than in
Yeah.
other countries where it's like these people went to another place and they're oppressed there, but they might have been aware that there was oppression that waited for them there. Right? So it is a quite unique scenario.
You're saying that they should go back where they came from?
Yeah, so what Mark thinks is the solution that
But
Mark
that's what
thinks is
he
that-
literally just brought up.
You
He's
say
like,
this a lot of
you
times.
literally just brought it up right
He
now.
says this
He's
a lot.
from Florida.
He
That's
goes,
what you're going to
he
get in
goes,
Florida.
he goes, we should bring all the black people back where they're from. That's what Mark
No,
says.
that you just said that. You just said
What do
that.
you think about a guy who would say something like
so
that?
my question is that
How do we get them there?
no, I'm just curious. Is that like, so
Mark
like
doesn't
even
believe that.
countries like Iran,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Horrible regime, but they still let people let them go if they want to go to leave the country. They can leave the country.
I think there was a small window where they did that. You're talking about when the
Even-
Shah fell and a lot of
Nowadays,
Iranians
even
came
Iranians
to.
have a passport that if they want to leave the country, they can leave the country.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I
If
didn't know
they-
that.
Of course, a lot of countries are not going to accept them as refugees, but they can go travel other countries.
Gotcha, okay.
So North Korean people don't even know the concept of passport.
Right.
So like in Colombia, these people like saying they can't breathe because this operation is so bad. Like
Yeah.
we can't breathe, we can't like this chanting every day I hear.
Yeah.
It's like if it's that bad, I mean you don't need to even escape, you don't need to cross the desert, you can just go wherever you want, leave the country.
Yes, you're 100%
Immigrate to
right.
Canada, Australia, or maybe.
And they need to know that
Africa,
perspective, but
it's-
that's just all they know. It's like, have you ever been like,
But they should go if the life is that unbearable. If what
Yeah.
they're saying is really, really that unbearable,
Yeah.
everybody should have a right to escape and have a right to live. And America is opening the door people to travel around.
yes, that's true.
So they should immigrate to North Korea. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's like why I don't get the idea.
But North Korea won't let us in.
They do.
No.
There were people like escaped. So they use them as actors in the movies and play the bad American bastards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like American white people, few hundred of them.
They have a few hundred white Americans that
Yeah.
just live in North Korea?
Yeah.
And they are not allowed to leave?
They learned all like fluent North Korean, praise the dictator like us do. But they did get in. Also during the war, like they captured some American soldiers that their children kept. They married. They don't inbreed them, right? They only marry the whites.
Yeah.
So the children are like still there.
Oh
Reading the
my
North Korean I mean, he can look it up. Like they praise the dictator so much, like acting like North Koreans, but just white.
Wow.
Yep. There are so you can go to North Korea. Like if you hate America so much,
Yeah.
go. Like the door is open.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Why don't we not do that?
Is there like a window for complaining? You know,
you
like,
should complain.
yeah.
I think
Like, let's say you're eating out and you use the bathroom and you go to wipe and there's no toilet paper. Do you go, fuck this place?
I
Or do you go,
Oh yeah, even little things I do.
exactly,
Yeah.
right? So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we complain a little bit, but we also know that there are situations like where you never had fucking toilet paper at all growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's silly that you're complaining about it, but at the same time, it's okay. Like, you just get it out the
Of course, it's
system.
okay. But
you know?
let others complain too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they say they won the communist revolution. They want to dismantling the system.
Oh, yeah.
They want to tear down the constitution.
They don't know what that is. They're just poor.
No, the Ivy League
They-
professors who win the Nobel
Ivy
Prize
League
saying
professors.
that.
Yeah, she's saying like privileged Columbia kids, Ivy League professors.
They
They're poor. They have gambling problems. They have gambling problems. Nobody with real money ever says that. This is for
Really?
children. Yeah. Even Bernie, like, he got 3 houses and he's like, I don't really need to run for president. Do you know what I mean?
AOC, I mean,
Yeah, she's poor. She was making more money bartending. Once she gets some real money, she'll be like, okay, I'll be a more like neutral, take a more neutral approach to economic ideology, and then she'll fall in line with whatever the party
AOC
is.
probably making money off speeches or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like she's making money.
The more money she makes, the more she'll go, okay, I don't really care about this. It is a function of money. I promise you, that's all it is. It's like, that's why kids are the most like into this whole like Marxist ideology, and then they get real responsibility and they're like, man, the government's taking how much of my money? Fuck that. You know, all you got to do is pay taxes one time. Not the government takes your taxes, you pay it.
Yeah.
Like when you got your money
you
from your
see the
book,
IRS, yeah.
and then you
You pay the
realize how
taxes,
much you had to
of
pay,
course.
you're like,
Yeah,
what
of
the
course.
fuck? You just
Yeah.
need to do that once in your life, and then immediately go, oh, okay. These libertarians are onto something. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. It's
I
just,
may know people who were like.
look at the
not
Black
doing
Lives Matter
that.
founders. They're all about communism, everything. They get made fucking $70 million. They bought houses all over North America.
Yeah.
You just need, if you want to stop communism, give them all money. Give them money. Every person that is a communist, give them $10 million. If you want to stop it, if that's really what you care about, you want to stop it in its tracks, give them money.
I don't want to stop communism, but I mean, it's an evil ideology, but I want to have a freedom to talk about it.
Sure, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you want to convince them that it isn't that great, just give them the thing they don't have. I don't believe any professor that is wealthy only wants to be a communist. I don't believe it. And I believe that they have a drug problem. I believe they have a drug problem, or they're into hookers, or they're into something like that. I don't believe it. I cannot imagine that this is a real thing.
Yeah.
I think Bernie really wants to help people, but even he doesn't want to be a communist. I think that he believes in more socialism, which we're already fucking socialists. We already have so many social programs. Like this idea that like we're so far off from the UK, who identifies as a socialist nation. Like it's not even that far off, but we're just locked into this freedom narrative, which is great. It's who we are as Americans. Yes, absolutely, let's do it. And this idea of being socialist has been so bastardized because we're looking at Venezuela and they're eating the fucking animals in the zoo. We're like, I don't want any of that. But the reality is we're not that far off from it. I think he just kind of wants to help people. But yeah, it's just a money thing. Once you get some money, all that shit thrown out the window.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they should work hard to innovate stuff.
And do something. I mean, imagine you're a college kid, you signed up for college, and you have $250,000 in debt. I'd want something from the government too. Marxism sounds great. Doesn't it sound awesome? I signed up for $250,000 worth of debt. I think the government should pay me.
Right.
Make college free.
It's entitlement. That's wrong. Why other people should pay for their university they chose to go?
No, it's not even, I don't think they're entitled. They
Because
don't really believe it. They're just saying it. They don't really believe they're entitled. The more you
They believe it.
I think it's like the louder you say something, the less you really believe it. You're trying to convince yourself. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't think these people that keep marching, like free healthcare, free education, all
They're
of this?
just bored. They don't have a job to make money at.
But they have time to go around cancer people like me.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, they're just bored.
Yeah, they just don't have something. They need kids. They don't have kids.
Yeah.
People used to have kids younger, and then they didn't have time to march because they were feeding a kid.
Yeah, we're just so busy. Like I have no time to
Exactly.
go out marching anywhere. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a mother.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, there's no time for anything.
You're
else.
exhausted, and then
Yeah.
someone goes, "Hey, be at the march." March? What do you mean
Yeah.
march? Can we sit down and do
Yeah,
this?
I mean, I need to put baby down by 7 p.m. every night.
I can't march.
I can't.
There's no way I can march.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
But you think they don't care, or they're just too busy?
What do you mean?
Like, if you have kids, like, does that mean
I
you
see.
don't care about those things, or you're just too busy to?
I think you stop caring once you
You
have
care a little
kids.
less. I think your world gets a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that's not everybody. I'm sure there are people who really do care. They want to make these changes for sure. But I think the majority of people, once they have kids, like, you know, the world shrinks a little bit. You know, you start to focus on those things and what you can do to help and provide for those people. And you now this idea that
Care
like
about the word deeply after children.
But-
You worry about everything.
I-
'Cause
I-
you want them to have better words.
I can imagine that for sure. I don't have kids
You
yet.
genuinely worry about the word after children. I mean, that was my experience at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You worry about it in a different way.
It's very different way, yeah.
I was speaking to Rogan about that.
Yeah.
And it was like, he definitely said that. He's like, because I told him I was experiencing some apathy. Like I was very fortunate where I made some money and I felt comfortable and I didn't have children.
Yeah.
So I was in this like state of this malaise, right? Where it's just like, I can do whatever I want and everything's fine, and I don't want to get riled up about politics. I don't want to get riled up about any of these things. And he goes, once you have kids, you're worried what they're consuming.
Right.
You're worried what they're learning. You're
Exactly.
worried
That's
what
why
they're
you care
thinking.
about education.
Exactly.
Their classmates, everything,
Yeah.
TV.
So you care about the world
Yeah.
for them,
Exactly.
not for yourself.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna die eventually.
Caring about other people, very socialist. Hey, 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 hey. So you can be socialist just with the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very Asian thing.
Very Asian
Only
thing.
your family matters.
Only the family matters. Okay.
I'm curious, is there anything or any experiences or anything, like, it's so interesting you get this new start on life where you come to America, you know, almost as an adult, and you get to re-experience all these things and be exposed to everything new all at once.
Yeah.
Are there things you haven't done yet that you're really excited to do? That is on your bucket list, like, oh, one day I want to go to this concert or I want to experience this thing?
I mean, even Burning Man was one of them. I really want to experience it, but I decided, like, eventually I was like, well, maybe I don't need to experience everything, maybe. You know? I don't know. I'm still debating.
Definitely
But-
come to Burning Man.
Okay. Okay. I'm sold.
Not again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay, let's meet in the like what is it again? Player.
That's what I'm saying,
Let's meet at the player.
The flyer.
God damn it, dude. God damn
I thought we was at the cookout.
This guy
With the cook song.
he's full retard. This
body.
Have some cockroach and like grasshopper like
Yeah.
cookouts for
Yeah.
people.
That would be
Go
awesome.
by. Yeah.
That would be so awesome.
Another question based off what he said. What was a memory you have in America where you're like, oh, this is freedom. This is what I envision America
What did
was.
freedom feel
Dating.
like?
Dating.
I mean, literally, I can date anybody, any race, any socioeconomic class. Like, literally, I can date anybody I want. Like, in North Korea, I couldn't do that because my 성분, like, class was very low.
Yeah.
And nobody could marry me up.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here, I can marry whoever I want. And that's real, like, freedom for me.
And even before the dating, like, and it doesn't have to be America, it can be South Korea too. What does freedom feel like? Because we don't know what it feels like because we
born in
exist
it.
in it all the time. I know there's like levels. Like
Yeah.
I hate rules. I hate restriction in anything. Like for my wife to get me to do things, she knows she can't tell me. She has to tell me how it would make her feel, and I just love making her happy. So I'll want to do it to make her happy.
She's a wise woman.
Oh, she's very smart.
Yeah, very wise.
She knows how to. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
She's good.
Keep
She's
her,
good.
yeah.
I'm gonna keep her.
Yeah, for sure.
Consensually, no.
Yeah.
And then, but okay, so what does it feel like when you go from not being able to make a single decision yourself to freedom? What is that? Do you know what to do with it? Do you understand
No,
it?
it's overwhelming. It's so painful.
Oh, yeah. I
It's
remember you talked about
painful.
To be free, yeah. You're scared of the consequences of choices you make. I mean, freedom is a responsibility, right? I mean,
Speak on this.
Yeah.
Because before you knew exactly what to do and you knew the rules and how you were affected if you broke the rules.
yeah.
And now you're saying you have the ability to do whatever you want and you don't know the rules? Why is there a fear?
I mean, thinking is tiring. I never, thought for myself. That was not a functional brain in my head. Like, I was thinking for myself, you know? It was very hard to do that.
So even like looking at a restaurant menu is probably like,
Yeah, it's like,
fuck, dude, I don't know.
I would not read the menu with my first boyfriend, like, why don't you choose for me something? I would not do that for a long time. And now I'm like more fancy. Can you put the dressing on the side? Dressing on the side, right?
That's America.
Yeah,
I have too
heard
many
it.
calories. Please put the dressing on the
I'm
side.
getting too fat.
Yeah.
But it's still also, even what you want to do you get married? Even getting divorced is my free thing. Like, I need to be responsible for the consequences, right? And nobody will take care of me. And even the clothes that I choose to wear is like my choice. And if somebody mug me, that's my responsibility. It's like everything is up to me. And it is overwhelming. I can see why people want the government to take care of them.
Yeah, you can see why people are compelled to security.
Yeah, they want to be taken care of by something that is
you
bigger
want to know there's
than themselves.
protection.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It is a human instinct in a way
Yeah.
to feel. I don't know if freedom is if we're instinctually free.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think it is a concept we kind of invented.
Yeah, it's a innovative idea. Democracy is a new idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it feels incredible, and we thrive in it. But yeah, we do crave some sort of structure and some sort of protection.
We do.
So you coming from too much of that to none of it, and not even being able to order off a menu.
Yeah.
Not even knowing what to wear.
No. Or what to even study, what's out there. There's a what do you want to be in South Korea? It's like, I don't know what lawyer is. I don't know what comedian is. I don't know what any jobs. Like in North Korea, we are all like revolutionaries working in the farm, collective farmers, or the factory workers. That's all we got. We don't have the technology engineers. Like there's bankers. I mean, teaching North Korean like a hedge fund. I mean, that's like a different concept, right? Or teaching me about Bitcoin, that took 6 years. It took a while.
Do you remember where you were when you first heard Gangnam Style?
South Korea. I was
Obviously.
Yeah. You mean the music itself?
Yeah.
The music?
Yeah. By Psy.
By Psy?
Psy was the...
Gangnam Style. Yeah, in South Korea I heard him.
And what was that like?
Very funny, but like I was very busy studying in the university. Because so North Koreans, when we come, South Koreans are a very educated population. They study since they're while in their mommy's tummy. They play them classical music and the English speeches, everything to them. They go through tutoring and like they study crazy hard. Kids are pressure and they are busier than presidents. South Korean high school kids are busier than any president in the world.
Really?
Today they take the Korean SAT to go to university. Even planes don't fly.
Wow.
It can bother their noise. It's the most serious day in Korea when they take the exam to go to university. Many kids kill themselves that day.
Wow.
Whoa.
This is how competitive South Korean education system is. And then I was like Korean age, like 17 years old, almost like 18.
And you got to learn school all over again.
They placed me, I was a level of elementary school, like first grade. Yeah, I don't even know the ABC, like alphabet. So.
Are you guys friends or girlfriend? What are you guys? You're just friends? You never hook up at all?
You've never done anything. You never. Now what? We're in the show me stage. Show me that dyke shit. You got bi-curious glasses. No, you're a hot lesbian. Give me the glasses, y'all. Let me show you. Listen, these glasses right here, you ate some pussy, man. I'm sorry. Look at this. Right? I put these shits on, I can see labia on everybody. Right? You can see a menstrual cycle with these motherfuckers. Look. Like both eyes are the same or no? It is. And you guys never hooked up at all? You got little hands. You got tiny little hands. Oh shit, you could make out here making guys feel good about themselves, huh? Bro, when she grabbed it, it looked like she was holding a baguette. The Louisville Slugger right here. You've heard that before, right? Guys just looked out. You're the only girl I'd be like, just jerk it. I want to feel like a man today. The ends don't even touch, they're just reaching for each other. Yeah, you don't got lesbian hands. That's your brother? You know her for real? She's pussy? And you're just a friend? You don't know, you just know him through... Don't look at her, look at me. I'm talking to you. Okay? I can see who the top lesbian is in this relationship. May I speak? May I respond to the question? Will I get my pussy ate later if I respond to this one? You are tough, huh? You lay them little hands down like this. You ever been backhanded by the Burger King hand? The Whopper Jr. hand? Ah! You know her from school? Okay. That's what's up. What's your name? And you... Yo, black people, step it up, yo. Step it up. First of all, you need to give that so damn black shirt to that woman right there, okay? Because your shirt don't make sense for you. Janana? Janana? That's a white woman named Janana. Black people that are a little bit older, have you ever heard of a white person named Janana? I feel like that's the second singer in every black band in history. It's Teddy's number one and then Janana. Bro, what is happening right now? What's your name? Volgana? Yo, Game of Thrones is over, white people. Y'all need to really just relax, give it up. It ain't coming back. Janana. What is your name? Volgana. That's how you say pussy and lesbian? You know, lesbians got their own language, right? You guys confused to get back to Volgana this night. Yo, what are they saying, man? I don't understand. What? Say it. Donna. So Will Donna. But with a W, it's with a V. Did you just show me what a V looked like? Listen, girl. If there's one thing I know that you know what looks like, it's a V. You saw her put out that big open pussy with that? You almost took a lick too. You're like, it's a V. It's a V. What's wrong with you? Vildana and Jadana. Jadana. What's your last name? Oh, you guys are Russian. Polish. Bosnian. That's just South Russia. Right? It's just the scary whites. They're scary whites. Don't fuck